ガラスの迷路ひび割れた公園まだ消えないまま藤た記憶誰かの夢にすり替わる名前さえ今奪われてく聞こえるか胸の奥できしむ鎖の叫び逃げないで選ぶんだ自分だけの芯を一つ書き換えられた世界で僕は僕を上書きしてくささやく嘘切り裂きながら覚めないなら夢を燃やせ一つ操られたスターに君の本と響かせてかけ違えたストーリー今塗り替えてゆけ黒いタイピン運命に鼓動が刺さる笑うシステム感情を食らう震えた指でログアウト先を探してるでも君の手が確かにここにある忘れるな偽物でも選ぶ痛みはリアル奪えない願いだけが最後のパスワード一つ書き換えられた世界で僕は僕を上書きしてくささやく嘘切り裂きながら覚めないなら夢を燃やせ一つ操られた明日に君の本と響かせてかけ違えたストーリー今塗り替えていけ必殺君の声で暗いスクリプトを壊して一つ書き換えられた世界で僕は僕を更新してく欺く影抱きしめながら傷ついても夢を離すな一つ操られた未来君と一緒に飛び越えて交差してくストーリー今始まりに帰ろう
That is right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Hypnocast. That's right, we are live, boys. We are live, we are live, we are live. We're going to dive down the rabbit hole that is known as the internet. But before we do that, boys, we got rated by Sonia. Is it cheating if you get rated by one of your own mods? It doesn't matter. Still appreciate it. Shout out to Sonia. Thank you for the raid. Guys, bring it in. Listen, we got a lot we got to talk about today. A lot we got to talk about today, like every single day, boys. It's absolutely insane. We got to hug it out because there's no way that we can continue down the rabbit hole that is known as the internet without hugging it out, man. So stop trying to dodge the hug because it's not going to happen. You know it's not going to happen. All right, every time you guys try to run away from the hug, it never happens. All right, get in here. We got to hug it out and listen very closely. If you guys are watching over on YouTube, like the stream now. Do it. If you guys are watching over on Rumble, like the stream. Do it. And if you guys are watching anywhere else, that's impossible, and you're probably a communist. Let's be real.
You are gay!
You know it's true. You know it's true. Guys, before we get into the Bigot Army roll call, we got to go over the battle that is set up today, because today should be an interesting one, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go! It's so pretty. It's so pretty. All right, boys, listen up. Listen up, you sons of bitches. All right, yesterday's battle was interesting, but unfortunately, Jury got felted. All right, she got felted. She's gone. Morgan moved on to the next round. It is what it is. All right, I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought the feet lovers were going to come out in full force, but apparently that's not what happened. So today, we got an interesting one. Today is going to be Guilty Gear versus Dead or Alive. That's right, boys. Today, we're going to have none other than Elfet versus Kasumi. Ladies and gentlemen, that's right. So depending on if you're a fan of one or the other, or maybe you're a fan of the franchise, who really knows? But at the end of the day, we got Elfet Valentine versus Kasumi. Let us know in your super chats which one you prefer, and we will go from there. You got to put the name first, though, you sons of bitches. Put the names first. Otherwise, they will not count. They will not count, boys. So make sure to put the names first, and we will go from there, and we'll figure out at the end. We'll figure out at the end who's going to be the winner. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. This tournament's a little bit surprising, to be honest with you. All right, with all that being said, boys, let's do the Bigot Army roll call, man. Let's see who's in the chat right now hanging out with us on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day, boys. That's right. It's a beautiful day. It's a Tuesday. Let's see who is here. We got Soul Reaper 2078. What's going on, Soul Reaper? How you doing? Oh, why is it not showing up? God damn it. What are we doing? Hold on. Give me 1 second. Why is it not showing up? Okay, here we go. Let's try that again. There we go. All right, we got Soul Reaper 2078. We got Black Tailgate in the chat. What's going on, man? Sonia Lissette is here. Thank you again for the raid. I appreciate that. We got Secret Final Boss. He says, I'm awake. Are you sure? Are you sure about that? We got Charlie Nuclear in the chat. We got Lucky Boy in the chat. We got Striker X31 in the chat as well. We got Felstaff in the chat. What's going on, man? We got Mason Gamer 1. What's going on, Mason Gamer? Shinphil. What's going on, Shinphil? How you doing? We got Too Cool Curry in the chat. We got Lightrand in the chat as well. Feet aren't real. So, like, what has Kata been gooning over for the last, 2 years now? Are you sure? Tire King says, what about your Chinese audience? The True Aztec Warriors in the chat. Black Tailgates in the chat. Hanny's in the chat. Soul Reaper 2078 in the chat. We got Voice in the Water is here. Oliver Adam is here as well. What's going on, Oliver? How are you doing, my man? Who else is here? Let me see. We got Sanikin in the chat as well. We got Mason Gamer is here. We got Eternal Brandon is here. Who else is here? We got D Smith is here. We got Blue Octopus screaming at the top of her lungs. What's going on, Blue? How you doing? We got Monkey Man 04. We got Commander Sonak. We got Marius is here as well. We got Frozen Dark in the chat. We got Felstaff is here. Alan Jones is here. Fourth Wall Guy is here. Says he prefers Filipinas. Well, there you go. We got Beat Up is here. We got Nick Havoc is here. Melody Johnson is here. Beautiful Zexel is here. We got Matthew saying, hello, please. What's going on, Matthew? How you doing? We got Vet Gamer Bocephus is here. What's going on, brother? How are you doing? We got Soul Reaper 2078 again. We got Kite Man is here. What's going on, Kite Man? Soul Burner is here as well. We got Flip Shazam is here. What's going on, Flip Shazam? John motherfucking Bond Zombie. Hey, bro, I'm 48 tomorrow. Let's go. He's old. I'm just kidding. Happy birthday. Everybody wish John Bon Zombie a fucking happy birthday. Let's get some cake emojis in the chat, boys. Cake emojis in the chat for John Bon Zombie. Happy birthday, brother. Happy to see you get another year, my man. We got Green Lotus in the chat. Ron DFK. Everybody touch the hat right now. Touch the hat. We got Lost in the crowd as well. Jason Alator is in the chat. Hutzel Bomb is here. What's going on, Hutzel? Unmasked Shinobi's here. Chris L is here. I have a Filipina fiance. So, are you guys sharing or something? Or what's the deal? Carlos is in the chat as well. What's going on, Carlos? Mornblade 626 is here. What's going on, Mornblade? How you doing? All right, 4 more people, man. 4 more people. Then we got to get on with the motherfucking show, man. What's going over there on Rumble? What are you guys doing? You guys alive? You guys are live over there on Rumble. We got T-Jab over there on Rumble. What's going on, man? Toradol over there on Rumble. Griffin of Might over there on Rumble as well. Black Tailgate is there as well. What's going on, Black Tailgate? Denarier is there on Rumble as well. We got Viovis over on Rumble as well. What's going on, man? Sean Sora is over there on Rumble, and it's his birthday. Holy shit. Guys, everybody wish Sean Sora a happy motherfucking birthday. Happy birthday, Sean Sora. Damn, everybody's parents were fucking today. Holy shit, that's great. That's great. Shout out to Shout out to Sean Sora. Appreciate that, man. Who else is here? Deidre Connick is here. I already called out Torno. Can't call him out twice. He gets greedy. Who else we got? Zooty Rumbles over there on Rumble. And last but not least, we got Genetic Spore over there on Rumble. Sargon's over there on Rumble. And Fluffy Murder Machine is over there on Rumble as well. Glow My Prince says that's not how birthdays work. Listen, man. At the end of the day, if you're doing it right, that's exactly how it works, okay? Don't question it. Don't question it. All right, boys, with all being said, we got to send somebody to HR. We got to send somebody to HR, ladies and gentlemen, because you guys have been absolutely fucking naughty. All right, let's be real. Every single one of you been naughty. I see some of you out there buying digital media on PlayStation, you dirty fucks. Don't lie to me. All right, don't lie to me. I see you out there. You guys have been naughty. Let's send somebody over to HR so that they can have a conversation. Let's send them over. Let's see who's going to go. Let's see. Let me look through the chat right now. And let's see who's being sacrificed. We got Sanic and Cebu saying to go down with absolutely zero protection whatsoever. That is very, very, very dangerous. We got Scrap Gamer saying whoever reads this message will be turned into a marketable plushie and will get hit by the reverse Uno by the power of 9,000. What? Doesn't make any sense. We're going down. Voice of the Water says no Uno reverse. Sandfly Swarm Defense to go down by 5. Booty hole protected by all kinds of emojis. And the organism of the day is a spider-tailed viper, which lures in birds to catch and eat with the tip of its tail, which looks like a spider. Why am I going through science class every time I read one of your chats? I just feel like I'm in science class again. What are we doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Scampus protects himself with all kinds of emojis, but no protection against Uno reverse to go down by 1. The Gamey Wolf protects himself by hiding inside of the box to go down by 1. Red Ogre says circle of protection emojis to go down by 4. All right, finally, people are fighting. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? Fuck it. I don't even care. Charlie Nuclear protects himself with a nuclear bomb, which goes down by 1. Fuck. God damn it. Even when I try to make shit up, there's still somebody out there who's just like, no, give it to me. Give it to me. Fucking A, man. I tried to make it go for as long as I can, but this fucking guy's got to be like, let me in. Oh, God damn it. Oliver Adam, congratulations.
Please, I beg you, don't do this. I didn't mean it.
Sit your bigot butt down in the chair so we can tell you how racist you are, you disgusting chud.
I think... Honestly, I just think a lot of people in this chat have some sort of like a domination fetish or like shame fetish or something. I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, boys, listen, we got a lot we got to talk about today, boys. We got a lot we got to talk about today. June says, I don't get what's going on. Neither do I. Don't worry about it. Welcome in, though. Guys, we got to talk about PlayStation. I know. It's like, what? We got to talk about PlayStation? Since when did we do that? I don't know. It's crazy. We got to talk about PlayStation. Got a couple of posts that I want to go over. A little bit of nonsense. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Today's stream is mainly going to be dedicated to Beast of Reincarnation. We got to talk about Beast of Reincarnation a little bit. We got to talk about the EA buyout. It is official, guys. EA is now a private company. And things are about to get saucy. It's about to get interesting. They are officially a private company owned by the Saudi Arabians. So that's going to be interesting. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about Halo Combat Evolved or whatever, or Campaign Evolved. I think it's Campaign. Yeah, Campaign Evolved. We're going to talk about that because apparently some numbers have come out. Now, obviously, you got to take it with a grain of salt because this comes from these analytic firms that never quite represent the numbers fully. But if we are to believe what the numbers say, then the numbers say that barely anybody showed up on the PlayStation platform to play Halo Campaign Evolved. And the reason why that is a very interesting metric to go by is because Halo Campaign Evolved was essentially designed for the PlayStation community. Realistically, it was designed for people that never played Halo and tried to get them into playing Halo. Come to find out, almost nobody showed up. Pretty much almost nobody showed up. So we're going to talk about Halo Campaign Evolved. We're going to take a look at that and see just how bad it is. We got some more information also about the development hell that the game was in. So we got to talk about that too, because anybody with a brain can see that the game was not developed properly. We also got to talk about Call of Duty Black Ops 2, the port. Guys, you all, like, everybody should go to HR for this, really. Like, all the ball and gun gamers should go to HR for this. Guys, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, a port, okay? It's not even like a remake. It's not a remaster, like literally nothing. They literally ported the game. They didn't even give you 4K resolution, 60 frames. Like, they didn't give you nothing. They just ported the game and they said, give me money. Black Ops 2, according to these analytic firms, which again, are usually not correct, but if we were to take the numbers at face value, the Black Ops 2 port has sold 8.2 million copies, brother. Wow. Ball and gun gamers, you guys are some of the most pathetic. Oh my God, bro. Some of the most pathetic people that I've ever seen, bro. You guys are out here buying a fucking, like, old ass video game at almost 10. And that's the second game. That's the second game. Call of Duty Black Ops, the first game, sold 3 million copies. So together, between Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, they sold an estimated 11 million fucking copies. 11 million copies. Ball and gun gamers, bro. What are we doing? Is there nothing else in your minds that you guys can play whatsoever? Like, nothing else. This is why those kind of people, they will literally look at all these games that are releasing and they're like, there's nothing to play. There's nothing to play. When's the next Call of Duty coming? Oh my God, bro. It is just fucking pathetic, bro. Holy shit. But you know what? Hey, it is what it is, man. Hopefully they enjoy that, I suppose. And they paid like maximum $1 for that shit too. It's unbelievable. Anyway, let's keep going. So we got to talk about that. We'll go over all that nonsense. We also got, let me see, the Blizzard story. So, like, Asmongold ended up there's like a clip going around right now. It's like a 2-minute clip talking about the stories that came out from Blizzard not that long ago, like a couple of years ago. The stories that came out about the whole Cosby room and the breast milk shit and all that nonsense, and how apparently all of it has been confirmed to essentially just been fake. All of it's been made up by people that wanted to co-opt the industry and essentially force men or force certain companies to hire more women. It's very interesting stuff. So we're gonna go over that because I think it's quite hilarious. So we're gonna go over that video and Jason Schreier's little involvement in that as well. And yeah, the EA story. We got to go over the EA story also. So we got a lot we got to talk about, boys. There's a lot we got to go over, ladies and gentlemen. But before we do any of that, we got to do the membership train. Let us get out here and light this shit up green, because I see a lot of grays, boys. There is so many grays in this chat. New people are joining us every single day. It's a beautiful thing. But ultimately, we are racist to grays. And I see some of you guys throwing out memberships already, both on YouTube and Rumble. I appreciate that. Let's light it up and let's have a good time.
Ladies
Here we go.
and gentlemen, all aboard the membership train. Lights up, first spark, first flame, name after name, rushing down the frame. Midnight chord, Hypnocast alive, every little badge like a battle cry. I see the counter climbing, tick, tick, tick. Every ping's a promise.
Life Barrett with a membership over on Rumble. I appreciate you. Thank you. Vobis with a membership on Rumble. Thank you, Vobis. Appreciate that. Gritty Knuckles with a membership over on YouTube. Thank you, sir. Chai T with a membership over on YouTube. Thank you, Chai T. Appreciate that. Great Ape with a membership over on YouTube. Thank you, Great Ape. Democulus with a membership over on Rumble. Thank you, Democulus. Black Tailgate with a membership over on YouTube. Thank you, Black Tailgate. Let's go. And Green Lotus snuck in a membership at the very last second like a boss. Thank you, Green Lotus. I appreciate that very, very much. All right, boys, let's go over the super chats. And then we're going to do gifted games. And then we're going to do content, boys, because we got a lot we got to go over, man. So let's start us off. TTS is officially live. God help us. God help our souls, boys. God help our souls.
Hashtag Kasumi.
PlayStation got worst. Shocker. Halo campaign evolved failed. Gasp. Blizzard lies exposed. Wisnotic lore expansion.
The gasp.
Maybe.
The gasp.
Chewy
No.
appearance.
No.
Find out on Hypnocast tonight.
The gasp was just so funny, bro.
Innocently
I don't
watching
know why.
your
I just
stream
was.
while
Thank you
I
for the 10.
work.
There's no such thing as you being innocent,
Miss
Renee. Thank you for the
Valentine.
189. Voting for
Feet are
outfit.
real.
You love it. Thank you for the 489.
Do
And then
need to
another
run flips are
489.
second
Jesus
when it
Christ.
comes
Thank
to
you.
heat-seeking class.
What? Heat-seeking chanclas? Oh my
Hypnoid
god.
is
Thank you for
official
the
now
5.
that EA is now a private company. I cannot wait for what's coming out of this. All right, Chewbacca, he's all yours.
Oh no. I don't even see that super chat in this list. I don't even see that super chat in this list. Where is that super chat? What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh
I
my
even
god.
purchased
Oh, here we go. I got
digital
it.
manga.
I got it. I got it. Thank
Tomorrow
you, Adair
the
Soto,
US
for the
Senate
20
is
banger.
voting on COSA,
I
the
appreciate
Kids
that.
Online Safety Act. I hope it doesn't pass, but I think it will. Things are not looking good.
It's never looking good, boys.
Hashtag
Never. Thank you for the 5,
Katsumi.
Marius.
As a sword and wand player, I reject and detest the gun and ball community.
Sword and wand player is actually hilarious. That should be a thing. Sword and wand instead of ball and gun. Thank you for the 5, bro. I appreciate that. Renee, thank you for the 189 saying I even purchased digital manga. See, that's why I said, man, gotta send them to HR. Gotta send them to HR. All right, boys, let's go over memberships really quick, man. King Demon Wing started us off today, reclaiming his throne with a 5 membership banger at the beginning of the stream.
More memberships! More memberships! More memberships!
And considering that's the first one of the stream, you already know what that means. God damn it. Why is Chewbacca yelling already? Oh my god, bro. What the fuck?
Control. The rebel fell through the holographic floor on level 15. You owe me 5 credits.
What the fuck, bro? I'm not gonna lie, this Stormtrooper lore is becoming insane. It really is. It really is becoming insane. Holy fuck, dude. That's nuts. What the Shout out to King Dimwig. Thank you for the 5 memberships. I appreciate that, man. Flip Shazam trying to equal it with a 5 membership banger on his own. Let's go, Flip Shazam.
More memberships! More memberships!
Shout out to Flip Shazam. Thank you for the 5 memberships, my guy. Appreciate that, man. Gritty Knuckles dropping a membership during the membership train. By the way, guys, we got new emojis. I'm working on brand new emojis. I'm redesigning all of them, so make sure to utilize them. There was a membership train emoji that's there for members, so utilize it to the best of your ability. Chai T gifting a membership as well. Thank you, Chai T. I appreciate that. Great Ape gifting a membership also. Thank you, Great Ape. Appreciate that. Black Tailgate gifting a membership also. Thank you, Black Tailgate.
Katsumi
Appreciate
is
it.
a representative of the sword and wand community, the gun and ball community, Artuists and Chewy. He is all
Tuists?
yours.
Tuists? You didn't put Taurus, you put Tuists? What the fuck? Oh, shout out to Jason Alto. Thank you for the 5, my man. Frozen Dark, thank you for the 10. I appreciate that. And Mr. Butler Colley, thank you for the 2, brother. I would say, yeah, that's pretty accurate. Pretty accurate, man. We got Green Lotus gifting a membership too. Thank you, Green Lotus. Appreciate that very much. And then Kagami gifted a membership also. Thank you, Kagami. Appreciate that very, very much. Absolute legend, all of you. Thank you, guys. Great membership train over on YouTube. Uh-oh.
Quick update from the head of Hypno Products. New full-size Hypno Body Love pillow will be out soon. Now you can love Hypnotic like a wizard.
Of course you would be right after. Yeah, of course. Of course you would. Of course you would be right after. Why am I not surprised? Yeah. Yep. Yep. Flip Shazam, thank you for the 5. I appreciate that very much. And then Adair Soto, thank you for the 5. Appreciate that very much. You guys are just like nonstop felting as expected. I don't expect any less here. Over on Rumble, we got Deidre dropping a membership at the very beginning. Thank you, Deidre. I appreciate that very much. We got Sean Sora with a 2, says, today's my birthday. As I turn 31, a question. What was the best gaming experience you had in life? Also, I put my 2 on the waifu, and it's what? At Sandwich? Hail 199? I have no idea. I have no idea what you meant by that. It's hard to say what's the best gaming experience ever because I've had so many good ones. But what I will say is probably the majority of the best experiences that I ever had were most likely at the prime of different MMOs. If that made sense, right? So, like, for example, the first time we killed Ragnaros in Molten Core and how like hard that was back in the day, or like the first time we killed Yogg Saron, server first, zero keepers, something like that, or like in Final Fantasy 11, the first time we killed what's the fucking name, Kieran. The first time we killed Kieran in the sky, like the sky zone and shit, that was badass. Or like the first time we fought Absolute Virtue, that was badass. Like it's almost always gonna be like in some sort of like MMO experience in its prime. That's pretty much like, that's gonna be probably where most of my like top tier experiences were. And I mean, like, in terms of like memorable experiences, obviously I still remember the day I beat Mass Effect 3, but it's not for a good reason. You know what I mean? Like, it was a memorable experience. Don't get me wrong. It was like there was so many emotions involved with finishing Mass Effect 3 after everything that happened between Mass Effect 1 and 2, and then finishing 3, and like I'll never forget that day. That was like ultimate nerd rage moment, I think, to be honest with you. I remember the first time booting up BioShock and thinking how amazing it was. BioShock at the time was like mind-blowing, or Crisis 2 was mind-blowing for different reasons. Like there's a lot of good experiences throughout the years, man. I can't just put it on one, So hope that answers that question. We got Debaculus with a 2. Kasumi, she's an amazing fighter. Let's go. That's a 2 for Kasumi. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And then we also got Denarier gifting a membership. Shout out to Denarier. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. We also got Lifer. Damn, they went crazy over on Rumble. Lifer gifted a membership. Thank you, sir. Viovis gifted a membership. Thank you. I appreciate that. And then Democulus gifted another membership. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Memberships everywhere over there. Torino with a 2 says, YouTube, we're short on Wookiee fur at Rumble. We'll need to suspend boot shipments unless you can get us more suitable pelts pronto. Since when the fuck do you guys have a business deal going on? Since when is that a thing?
At Archangelus 6008
you guys don't work together?
Celebrates 17 months
you guys
of membership.
Hate each other.
Hello to the chat, mods and Hypnotic Tie for always taking the time to play and reporting on the games. Keep it up, always looking forward to the streams.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Archangelus. Thank you for that, bro. Shout out to Archangelus. 17 months of legendary status.
Kasumi,
thank you, I appreciate
smiling
that.
face with hearts emoji.
I picked up Crystalla. It is a cat Souls-like. I'm a battle kitty. More ha ha ha.
What the fuck is Crystalla? A cat Souls-like? What the fuck is that? I never heard of that. I gotta look that up. A cat Souls-like sounds interesting. Thank you, Ron, for the 5. I appreciate the vote for Kasumi. Thank you very much. Then Explore with $1. I'm afraid that it's classified, Hypno, even above your clearance. Since when do you guys have a classified deal amongst each other that's above my clearance? What kind of nonsense is that? I've never heard of this before. I don't agree. Thank you for the $1. Appreciate it. All right, guys, we are fully caught up. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We are going to go into gifted games now. Let's do gifted games, and then we got content right after that, boys. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Why can I not bring up my gifted games? What the fuck is going on, Steam? Hold on. What is going on, Steam? What do we do? Oh, my God. I got to re-log in. Oh, boy. Hold on. Sorry, chat. I don't know what's going on. Wow. There we go. Oh, great. Great. This guy shows up. Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you. Yep. Yep. Sure thing. Sure thing, buddy. Sure thing, buddy. There's no fur business between YouTube and Rumble. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. That does not exist, okay? I don't believe you guys. You guys don't like each other like that. But thank you for the 5. I appreciate it. Ahmad just said, very interesting game, and that's it. He gifted Screamer. Now, Screamer, he's not lying. That is a very interesting game.
The first and last, for now, physical manga I bought were Volume 1, 2, and 3 of Trigun Ultimate. I think it was called
nice.
From Dark Horse Comics.
Yes.
Cost almost $350, including shipping for hardcover books with gold filigree.
Yep. I got the entire set of Trigun. There's more than 3 volumes. Or is there? I don't remember. I gotta check. I think there is, though. I'm pretty sure there is. There's more than 3 volumes for the hardcovers. But yeah, Dark Horse, they make all of the deluxe edition mangas for the most part. At least the new ones anyway. So yeah, they're nice though. They got like the red cover with the gold writing and shit. They're really nice. Really, really nice. Shout out Speedy Cake, man. Thank you for the 20. I appreciate that very much. Congrats on your physical manga. That's awesome. It's get ready for the new addiction that you're about to have. You say it's the first and last for now. I don't think that's gonna be the case. I don't think that's gonna be the case. But thank you for the 20, bro. I appreciate that. All right, back to this. So Ahmad gifted Screamer. Now Screamer was that racing game that was like very anime based. And I thought it looked pretty cool. We had saw this multiple times in multiple different showcases. We saw this before, and it looked pretty good. I didn't jump on it right away because obviously there was other games that I had to play at the time. But this is definitely a game that looked pretty good. It looked very arcade racy, kind of like old school Need for Speed. So I'm definitely excited for this, bro. Thank you, Ahmad. I appreciate that. I will absolutely play this at some point pretty soon. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hold on. Had to cough. Sorry about that. All right. So we also got... The fuck is this, bro? Gamers Republic says Screamer is awesome. I love the twin stick racing and the story goes full sci-fi. It's my new favorite racing game. Really? That's awesome. Might have to bump it up a little bit. Old Man Jenkins says, you gay as fuck, boy. Wow. He gifted Draw a Card Simulator. You don't even need a board game or a party magician anymore. This simulator will fulfill all of your needs. All of my needs? All of my needs? Oh, man, Jang, thank you for the gift, bro. I appreciate that. You gay as fuck, boy. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, bro. What are we doing? What are we honestly doing? Like, what are we honestly... First off, I already knew Blue Octopussy was corrupted, but who got her into, like, gifting troll games and, like, making AI fucking gay porn and shit? Like, who has corrupted Blue to that extent? Because before, she would just yell in the chat. Now, she's doing all this extra shit. Somebody must have corrupted her. Because I don't know, like, was it Yamato? Probably was Yamato, right? It was probably Yamato with, like, Sonya encouraging it and shit. Yeah, probably. Like, I feel like I'm onto something there. Blue says, enjoy Mr. Foodamaster. I don't know how I'm the Foodamaster. I don't know how, like, that's why is that a thing? Why is that a thing? I don't know. What does a walrus and Tupperware have in common? They both like a tight seal. Wow! They both like a tight seal. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay, that was bad. You gay as fuck. Girl. I know you're not a boy. I know you're not a boy. All right. At least I think you're not a boy. So you gay as fuck, girl. Gay. Mega gay. Ultra gay. Super Saiyajin gay. You. There you go. I had to give it in language that you would understand. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Blue. Thank you. Appreciate that. The trolls never end, boys. The trolls never end. All right, with all that being said, I think we are caught up on everything with the exception of one, and that is Tornall with a 2 on Rumble that says that fur deal is how we keep your coffee sales ahead of the quartering. Best not question further. I don't want anything to do with that. What are you guys doing? Rumble, if you guys are... Nope. I will disown. Disavow. I don't want anything to do with that. Shout out to Tornall. Thank you for the 2. Appreciate it. All right, guys. We're caught up on everything, man. Let's go. You guys ready to get into the content, man?
Hashtag Elfet Valentine.
Oh.
You could bring in Bridget from Guilty Gear, since Bridget is now a female.
Bridget is now a female? Well, I mean, everything is set ahead of time, so I can't do that, unfortunately. Apathetic Hearts with a 10 for Valentine. Elfet Valentine. You love to see it. Shout out to Apathetic Hearts. And just a reminder, while there's Super Chats on the screen, we do have a battle going on today, so make sure any Super Chats that you want to count towards the battle, you put the name of the girl that you're voting for. The name is in the poll, so that in case you forget, since the picture's not on the screen, you'll be able to tell which one you're voting for. Whoever wins is going to move on in the next round to go face off against Morrigan, because Morrigan beat Jury in the last round. So we'll see how that goes, boys. All right, let's get into it, man. Thank you for the 10. I appreciate that. Green Lotus says you could add Sekhmet from Power World, bro. Bro, relax. Can we relax a little bit? Can we relax? Fucking furries. Anyway, guys, speaking of, let's go over something funny. So I saw something funny. Wanted to share it with you guys, man. This happens quite often with video games that are controversial. And you end up getting people that, you know, they got to shill, bro. Like, people just got to shill. It is what it is, right? So I saw this post. Well, I saw another post that led to this post, but I'm going to give you the context real quick. So Rock Solid, pause, by the way, on February 21st of this year, said, at least Marathon has a unique art style. The art style, soy gun, right? Complete trash for the most part. Now, obviously, this is people making fun of Marathon either before it came out, or I think it was before it came out, pretty sure. It was funny. And shill's got a shill, right? And this happens all the time, dude. You get people that'll be like, what are you going to do when the game is successful? I can't wait, right? This guy said, or this girl, whoever, said, I wonder what all these guys are going to do when Marathon succeeds. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that, I mean, this was just a layup. This was a layup. And the funny, like, this was posted February 21st, 2026, right? If you scroll down, Rock Solid said bookmarking for the future on February 22nd. And lo and behold, Rock Solid posted today, well, with the Steam charts, quote tweeting this person completely and utterly felting them, with the Steam charts showing Marathon at less than 5,000 players. What an easy fucking layup, boys. That's crazy. That's dedication. That is dedication to the craft, bro. He had it bookmarked. He actually had it bookmarked. That's so funny. And then he came back. He was like, well, here we are. And I decided to check the Marathon page just because, you know, I don't, like, when it comes to Twitter, I like to verify as much information as possible because, you know, I haven't been looking at Marathon in a long time. I don't give a fuck about Marathon, right? But I decided to go to Marathon's page. It was, in fact, at $49.95. It was, in fact, at a 24-hour peak of $49.95. How is it that this game had a free-to-play week? A week, right? A free-to-play week. And it also had multiple different seasons already, and it's losing more players every single time. And it's because it's exactly what I said. Most of the people that were playing this game had no idea what an extraction shooter was actually like. They were just Bungie fanboys. They were looking for their next Bungie fix, and they were hoping that this was somehow going to be a consolidated Destiny experience or something like that. They didn't get that. And I said the moment the servers reset and they follow through with the typical extraction, genre things, what's ultimately going to happen is people are going to check out because they don't want to. These kind of people that are used to grinding the best gear and collecting gear in Destiny, they're not going to want to lose all their shit after 90 days or whatever it is in Marathon. They're not going to want to go through with that. They're not going to want to deal with that. And that's exactly what happened here. It's a beautiful thing because right after the reset, what happened? Everybody left. So that's basically it, boys. I thought this was absolutely hilarious, man. And anytime I see an easy dunk like this, I gotta enjoy. I gotta enjoy. Tiger King says just wait for the next season. Even less people are gonna play. Even less people. It's probably gonna go in another half by then, and at that point the game's gonna get shut down. I honestly thought this game was gonna get subsidized for at least a couple of years, but realistically looking at this, I don't see how they can.
That felting is so bad it made me felted. Damn feltception. Chewy handle this slop.
No, don't. Chewy doesn't have to. Chewy doesn't have to come out all the time and like talk for you guys. You can keep him in the background. He's worse than Marathon. Seriously. Thank you for the 10 though. I appreciate it. But yes, it's been pretty damn hilarious just to see all this go down. And I honestly, it's funny because these kind of people, I wonder, you know what? Let's go back real quick. Hold on. Let's go back. I wonder if this person has shilled for Marathon at any. They're a Twitch partner. Oh.
Holy shit.
No wonder. They're a Marathon creator. They've been trying to become a Marathon creator this entire time. So they've been slurping up the company, slurping up the video game, slurping up the studio in order to try to gain access. It's almost as if it's the same shit that we talk about all the time. Wow, bro. Angelica is now a Marathon creator. Thank you for the love, support, and kindness in this community. It means the most. I will always be there for you. You sure about that? You sure about that? This person literally shilled for Marathon just to become a Marathon creator. I am fucking sick, bro. I am sick, dude. This is disgusting, man. Oh my god. Anyway, that's basically it, ladies and gentlemen. It's every single time. The stories write themselves at this point. Yeah, I don't know. As long as the check clears, exactly. That's the whole point, right? As long as the check clears, it's all good, boys. It's all good. Christian says, I remember playing games in the early 90s that looked the same or better graphically. Like the whole cyberpunk look, like the look that they were going for wasn't bad. It was the fact that the way that they crafted their characters inside of the world is bad. Because you got Cyberpunk 2077 that has a similar cyberpunk aesthetic, right? But it doesn't craft its characters to be god-awfully fucking ugly to that extent. Like Marathon decided to just throw whatever at the wall and hope that it stuck, and that's not how it works. It's never how it works. But yeah, boys, we just saw the transformation of a shill in real time. That's amazing. It feels more like Neon Glow than Cyberpunk to me. Yeah, I guess so. I would say it's the more extreme version of Cyberpunk. It's not grounded in like almost steampunkish, like with the actual Cyberpunk 2077. Whereas this one, like you said, is more neon, more bright colors, more like, I guess what would happen if like Vice City and fucking Cyberpunk just had a baby together or something, But in any case, that's amazing to check this out. All right. Let's get into the next topic, guys. We got to talk about EA. Let's talk about EA. Let's go over that real quick. Very interesting topic. Let me pause CTS real fast because this is crazy stuff. So It's more diesel punk. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So let's talk about EA. We got to talk about Electronic Arts because something major happened, and it's funny because almost nobody's talking about this. Almost nobody's talking about this, and we're talking about, PlayStation, physical media, all that stuff, but this is one of the biggest moments in gaming history. It really is, and people don't even people either don't care or they don't realize it, but this is the second biggest acquisition in the entirety of gaming history. So Electronic Arts today now officially belongs to Saudi Arabia. They are officially a private company. We have now witnessed one of the biggest public companies in the entertainment world with some of the, longest history of video games, and their name being attached to video games. They're now a private company, which is wild, right? So seeing this go down, now all the theories are starting to pop out, right? All the ideas of people, you got people that are obviously very angry about this, like Kotaku, for example, which is why we're using them to laugh at them. Kotaku has been trying to fight this since the beginning. They've been angry about this the entire time. They're essentially, the physical manifestation of Sims players, because a lot of Sims players are not happy about this either. Sims creators literally tried to stop this from happening. They protested and everything like that. None of it worked. And like I said, you guys, they tried to make a petition that had 5,000 signatures. You think 5,000 signatures are going to stop a $55 billion deal or whatever this was from happening? Of course not, right? So anyway, this entire situation is massive, and not many people are talking about it. So I wanted to talk about it because I find it to be very interesting. So this officially happened today. Everything closed at the time of market closing today. Electronic Arts officially belongs to Saudi Arabia, private equity, and Jared Kushner now. With the closing of the market today comes the second biggest acquisition in gaming history. They officially have been sold for $55 billion, with the company going private in the second largest deal in gaming history. Now, here's the thing, okay? When a company goes private, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen, guys? Let's be real, okay? Because EA has been selling their employees this glorious, kumbaya story that everything is going to be okay. It's all going to be great. Don't worry about it. We're going to continue with our values. We love your, we love you guys. We love your social causes. Guys, this company is about to get fucking felted, bro. This company is about to get absolutely destroyed, and nobody's going to know about it. Nobody's going to know about it because now that they're a private company, they don't got to tell you shit. They don't got to tell you nothing. And this is going to be a massacre. And the only way we're going to find out about it is through the LinkedIn posts that are eventually going to happen from all the employees that are there that are going to put hashtag ready to work in their LinkedIn bios from now. But this is going to be a bloodbath. It is going to be crazy. I can only imagine what some of the conversations are going to be had over there at EA. And on top of that, too, I could only imagine what's going to happen to some of these major franchises that EA still owns and still has. Think about this, guys. Guys, think about this. Mass Effect 4, right? Or if you want to call it 5 because of Andromeda. Mass Effect 4/5, it now belongs to Saudi Arabia. Mass Effect now belongs to Saudi Arabia, boys. What do you mean, BioWare now, bro, BioWare now belongs to Saudi Arabia. Dead Space, exactly, now belongs to Saudi Arabia, bro. Guys, this is going to be insane. I'm laughing about it because it's funny, but it's also a little bit crazy at the end of the day because to have this many IPs belong to a basically, private firm is nuts. It's nuts. It's gonna be wild. I don't know what to make of this. I feel like this is something that we're gonna see the overall impact of its influence over the next few years. This is not something that's gonna happen right away. We're not going to see the impact of this buyout right away, just like we didn't see the impact of the Microsoft buyout with Activision Blizzard right away. It took a couple of years for it to manifest. I think it's the same thing here. I think that I'm sure they're going to clean house. We're not going to know anything about it. We're not going to know who got fired, how many people got fired. I'm sure there'll be speculation. I'm sure there's some journalists out there like Jason Schreier that has some inside connections over at EA that's about to find out everything that's going on. But realistically, this is going to be a bloodbath. And then after the bloodbath happens, then they're going to figure out how they're going to move forward with some of their IPs if they even choose to. And I know a lot of Sims players were scared that, their social identity nonsense is inside of the Sims video games were going to suddenly go away on top of everything else. I'll even tell you how much people are coping over this, okay? Check this out. So I saw this other article over at Kotaku, and it says Helldivers 2 CEO says EA's Saudi acquisition would be a real waste if it just produces safe sequels. Now, I looked at this and I thought to myself, what exactly does this mean? Like, what do you mean by safe sequels? I feel like what's happening here is that you have a lot of people within the gaming industry that, as we have found out with Xbox, were making absolute trash and trying to sell it to you and pretend like it's the most amazing thing ever. I think people would immediately in their minds go to the thought process of, well, they're just going to make safe sequels. Basically, they're saying that they're just going to make video games that only gamers actually want to play and not, historic art pieces or any kind of like impactful story or impactful whatever. Like, bro, people don't care about that shit. If that's what you consider to be safe, isn't Helldivers 2 considered to be a safe sequel? I mean, Helldivers 2 is pretty straightforward. It doesn't like change the mold or anything. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying it doesn't do anything too crazy. So why exactly is that considered? Like, I don't know. It's just, I think that people are looking at this and they're assuming a lot. They're assuming a lot of shit. And I think they're assuming it because ultimately they don't like the tie that it has to Donald Trump. They don't like they're turning this into a political thing. And instead of just looking at it at face value and saying, okay, well, this is now a private company, so they could do whatever. Now it's like, well, this is going under the hands of, Jared Kushner, and this is like Donald Trump's son-in-law, and this is not good because they're not going to make video games that are impactful. They're just going to do safe sequels. And I'm like, bro, what are we really complaining about here? Is this any worse or any better than the people that we currently have in charge of a lot of these studios that are still public? Probably not, right? I think that realistically, this comes down to the fact that they know that there are going to be changes made to the way that EA presents its video games moving forward and the way that video games get made. And all I'm telling you is that if Saudi Arabia and Silver Lake and whatever, if they had owned EA at the time that Dragon Age the Veilguard was being conceptualized, we would not have the Veilguard that we have today. That's all I can tell you with pretty much 99, like I don't like giving 100% on anything, but like 99.875 accuracy, I could say that we would not have Dragon Age the Veilguard. Not that we would have something better, I'm just saying we wouldn't have what we had now with Veilguard if it was under these people. That much I could pretty much nearly guarantee you at this point. So anyway, people can think what they want. Ultimately, it's going to be something we're going to see over time. We're not going to see anything probably within the next like year or so. They're going to be focused on downsizing the company. They're going to be focused on getting rid of all the bloat because now there is nothing stopping them from doing so. There's none of this bullshit HR nonsense that was incorporated in these public companies. None of this stuff exists. And at this point, they're just going to clean house. And the people that bought the BS story of how it's going to be very safe and like, don't worry, like our deals are going to stick around and we're still the same EA at the end of the day, they're going to find out that that's not true. They're going to find out that that is not the case whatsoever. Ian Christmas says they won't do anything but sports games. Yeah, they probably won't. They'll do Battlefield, which that's another one too. Battlefield, bro. Battlefield is now owned by the Saudis. This is crazy, right? But anyway, Battlefield, they'll do Battlefield. They will do sports games, and they'll do the one-off, like occasional, like Mass Effect or whatever. And that's if those games are successful. If they're not, then forget about it. And now you also got to bring up the fact that now, I guarantee you this. Any video game that comes out of the brand new private EA is going to be immediately attacked by the gaming media. They're not even, bro, it's not even gonna, all these 9 out of 10s, 10 out of 10s for Dragon Age the Veilguard, that shit is not gonna exist when it comes to anything that these people make moving forward. The Western gaming media has now made EA one of their prime targets, and anything they come out with is gonna be constantly referenced back to Donald Trump, Jared Kushner, even when Trump is not president anymore. It's going to be like, oh, well, this is the company that got bought out by Jared Kushner, who has a tie to Donald Trump. It's like their obsession with this stuff they're not going to let it go. That's all I'm telling you. So anything that comes out from EA from this point forward is going to be attacked by the Western gaming media, and they're going to get the same exact point deductions that the Eastern video games get, which we're going to talk about when we talk about Beast Reincarnation. That's exactly what's going to happen. So anyway, I wanted to talk about this because I think this is truthfully one of the biggest moments in gaming media, gaming history, I should say. I don't know what's going to happen to their video games. I don't know what's going to happen to The Sims. I don't know what's going to happen to anything like that. All I know is that they're absolutely going to clean house. There's no doubt about it. So, you know, stay tuned for future conversations where, you know, somebody leaks something about layoffs and we come to find out how many people got fired. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. But for right now, we'll see what ends up happening. This is going to be a major pivotal moment in gaming history. We will be talking about this years from now. I guarantee you. We'll talk about this was the moment where everything changed for either the better or the worse. We just don't know which way it's going right now. But this will be a moment. Ian Christmas says, don't forget EA sucked before this deal. Oh, I don't think anybody forgot that. I'm pretty sure. All right, let's go over supers real quick. What do you guys got to say?
EA acquisition.
Let's
Saudi Arabia is EA's secret final boss. Wow.
Wow.
Ha.
Secret final boss
It's
said
like
that.
Save
Wow.
Horny,
Thank
only
you.
worse.
It's like Save Horny, only
Kazumi.
worse. Fair. Thank you for the 5.
Let
Appreciate
the
that.
firings begin.
Summer days.
Ha.
A 10 for Kasumi. Let's go, man. I didn't take you for a DOA kind of guy, but then again, I guess that makes sense. Time Was, thank you for the 2,
I have
brother.
been waiting
That's
for the
exactly
day
what's
of
happening.
EA cleaning house. These last few weeks I have been feasting like a hype beast.
You've been feasting, huh? Like a hype beast? Let's fucking go, Jason Altor. Thank you for the 5. I appreciate that. Let's check Rumble really quick. Rumble, what do we got, man? What are you guys doing? Toronto with a 2. Any wager on which is shut down first? Destiny 2 or Marathon? Destiny 2. I think Destiny 2 will be shut down first. Pretty sure. Thank you. I appreciate that, bro. Okay, that's enough for the EA story. Let's X out of that real quick. Let's talk about the Blizzard story. Let me pause TTS. Guys, we got to talk about this Blizzard story because this is pretty huge. All right, and I know like it's going super viral right now because of what's happening with Asmongold and the video that's been shared around. But let me give you guys a little bit of history and context real quick before we get into it. So, Asmongold ended up discussing the Blizzard scandal. Okay, Blizzard scandal that was discussed over the last couple of years, where Blizzard was essentially accused of all kinds of insane stuff related to, you know, workplace misconduct, sexual harassment, misconduct, abuse, all that stuff, basically having a frat boy culture. And come to find out, after an investigation from outside sources, and California themselves, by the way, investigated, there was nothing to be found, no evidence substantiated whatsoever. And essentially, Jason Schreier also admitted that some of the stories were basically not true. It was complete bullshit, completely fake. But these are still stories that were pushed out there as if they were true. And they're still being utilized to this day against certain people that certain other people do not like for whatever that reason may be. So I saw this post from Asmongold Updates, and it says Asmongold reveals the Blizzard harassment scandal was proven fake. All the allegations of sexual misconduct, abuse, and harassment in frat boy culture were entirely fake. California admitted that there was no evidence substantiating any of the claims. The breast milk theft, the Cosby Room, the harassment driving an employee to end her life, all of it was theater over the fact that only 1 in 5 Blizzard employees were women. Blizzard paid $18 million and set up HR practices that discriminate against white men. Internal messages between California officials show the entire thing was a ploy to send a message to the industry to literally ruin video games. Do you remember when I said gamers are the most oppressed group in society? It's not women, it's not gay people, it's not trans, it's gamers. We're having our spaces colonized, and they're getting mad at us for not liking it. So let's check it out. Let's see what he has to say directly from his mouth. Here we go.
In case you didn't know, all of the allegations of sexual misconduct, abuse, harassment, and quote, frat boy culture were entirely fake, and the state of California even admitted that there was no evidence substantiating any of the claims. The entire controversy around...
Which, by the way, guys, just so you're aware, about a year after this happened, what ended up happening? A year or so after Blizzard and this entire thing blew up and they got accused of all the worst, right? With Activision Blizzard. I think I got disconnected. Fuck. Hold on. Did I get disconnected? Can you guys still hear me? Oh, I'm back now. Hold on. It says I'm back. All right. Never mind. That was weird. Can you guys hear me? Chat? Can chat hear me? We here? Okay, cool. So what ended up happening, right? About a year or so after this happened, they got bought out. They got bought out. Think about that. About a year after this happened, about a year after the company was completely torn down from the inside, they got bought out. It's crazy, right? It's almost as if this was calculated. It's unbelievable, bro. It really
Blizzard
is.
Was set up by California to force the company to stop hiring white men, using Me Too allegations to strong-arm them.
Blizzard was set up by California to force the company to stop hiring white men. And when they wouldn't get their way, they used all kinds of nonsense, Me Too allegations, all that kind of... Oh, boy. This is crazy, bro. And think about this, because Blizzard was one of my favorite companies of all time. It really was. And their downfall that we have witnessed, which, by the way, do you guys notice who's in charge of Blizzard now? I'm sure you guys know who's in charge of Blizzard now, right? The same woman who thinks that Warcraft is too strong of a name. And that, according to her, that Chris Metzen told her that he wishes that they didn't name it Warcraft. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all, to be honest with you. But I'm just going based on what she's saying. That they wish that they didn't name it Warcraft because apparently it's too intimidating. Warcraft is apparently too... It's fucking... Bro. Oh, my God. So gay. It's so gay, right? So anyway, so this seems extremely calculated. And it really showcases how far some people are willing to go to completely ruin companies from the inside as long as they get their way, right? Realistically, I guess these women over at Blizzard realize that the only way that they're going to get into positions of power is not through their own actual skill set, because that was for the 1 out of 5, right? 1 out of 5 people working at Blizzard was a woman. Those 1 out of 5 people, that was women who actually earned their place. The other women who didn't earn their place or couldn't earn their place or couldn't keep up for whatever reason, they realized that there's a way to weaponize that and to get their way, and that was this nonsense. But see, the thing about this is that, yeah, you could lie and you could damage, but the truth eventually comes out at some point in time. It's only a matter of time. And this is exactly what's going on now. You know, realistically, I'll say this realistically. When it comes down to it, when a story sounds so insane, when a story sounds so bizarre, when a story sounds way too juicy, it probably is, right? 9 out of 10 times when a story is just way too fucking juicy, it probably is heavily curated and most likely bullshit, right? Most likely. But anyway, let's continue. Dragon Defender says there's a video of Chris Metzen saying that. He's seen it. He's betrayed us. Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Again, I wouldn't be surprised, though. Think about it. If you see your company taken over by a bunch of activists and you see people getting fired left and right that look exactly like you, yeah, I'm not exactly shocked that all of a sudden he'd be like, oh, yeah, of course, Warcraft, yeah, it's too intimidating. Yeah, okay. You really want me to believe that he believes that? I don't believe that.
Some of the accusations were so bizarre and insane that they included theft and consumption of breast milk during work hours.
It's fucking stupid.
A rape room named after Bill Cosby.
Bro, a rape room named after Bill Cosby. Are we serious right now? I remember reading this years ago and saying that sounds insane. That sounds literally said, like, how could that even, like, how could you even get away with that? Realistically, like, in what world, in what modern world can you get away with? I just, not that it's not possible. It's just that after a while, it sounds like fan fiction. It sounds like fan fiction from someone who's extremely angry and wants to create this insane narrative. Like, what are we doing?
Sexual harassment to the point of an employee ending her life. All of these claims were essentially a theater performance over the fact that only 1 in 5 Blizzard employees were women.
Wow.
As a result, Blizzard agreed.
Only 1 in 5. Only 1 in 5. Like, why is that only? Why is that a bad thing? Only 1 in 5. That's still a lot of women. That's a lot of women that are working at the company. But only 1 in 5, apparently, that's a bad thing.
To pay roughly $18 million in fines and set up HR hiring practices that would discriminate against white men. Internal messages between California Civil Rights Division officials.
Also, think about one thing really quick. This story with Blizzard was utilized and weaponized to push this kind of stuff into other studios and other companies. Think about that. So this scenario that was fabricated in California was utilized and pushed in other studios and other companies all across the globe because of how massive Blizzard was and Activision was at the time, because of how big they were. This was huge, right? This was a huge, like, oh, wow. If they're capable of this, I can only imagine what other companies. And at that point, every woman saw, oh, yeah, I could make up shit too. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, Blizzard was patient zero, exactly. Well, I wouldn't say patient zero, but they're damn near patient zero at that point. Because that's when all the HR fucking nonsense started happening. It was crazy, bro.
Officials showed the entire thing was a ploy to send a message to the industry to literally ruin video games.
Wow.
Wow. How about that? That's crazy. I don't even know what to say.
Oh, it worked. I'll say that. It worked, right? It may be getting purged right now. It may be working its way out little by little, but ultimately, this situation led to the vast infection that has spread for many years all across the industry. And it absolutely did work. Even if it's for a time, it still worked, right? Crazy shit, man.
Do you remember, somebody in chat said this, do you remember when I said that gamers are the most oppressed group in society? It's not women, certainly not women. It's not gay people. It's not trans. It's not disabled people. It's gamers. Gamers are the most openly discriminated against group.
I've always said that I do find it interesting that for some reason, all the rules of logic go out the window when it comes to the gaming industry. All rules of logic do not exist in this industry because for some reason, you're not allowed to have that thought process. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, but it's like a rhetorical question. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, for example, why is it that in the gaming industry, a trailer is not meant to help you decide whether or not you want to be interested in buying a game or not? How come in the gaming industry, for some reason, when you look at a trailer, you're not allowed to say that that game looked like shit because of the trailer and that you're not interested? You'll get people that gaslight you and say, well, you didn't even pay for the game and play the game. It's like, yeah, why would I? Why would I? If I go to see a house and the house looks like shit, do I got to go and buy the house and solidify into a 30-year mortgage before I decide that the house is shit? What? Like, why is it that just is not allowed for some reason? You know, there's so many things, there's so many rules. They're just like the rules of logic that go out the window with this industry. And it's because they ultimately are designed with people that want to emotionally trap you. They want to get you emotionally involved. They want to make you feel guilty for not immediately supporting them or feeling bad for them or anything like that. It's crazy, man. I don't get it.
We're not Jews, it's gamers. We're having our spaces colonized and they're getting mad at us for not liking it.
That's exactly what it is. They're getting mad at us for not liking their changes, right? So anyway, he should have left our video games alone. That's crazy, bro. Fearing as what the fuck? That's insane. Anyway, so you know, realistically, guys, Blizzard's not gonna do shit. Right? Blizzard's not gonna do shit. You know, this guy's saying if this is true, if I were Blizzard, I would sue for billions of damages. The problem with that is the people that would sue, that would work at Blizzard, that were affected by this, have already been let go for many years. They've been let go for many years. They've been fired already. So the Blizzard that's there right now is the Blizzard that these people wanted. It's the Blizzard that they've actively, you know, co-opted. It's that Blizzard. So why would they sue themselves? They'd be like, oh yeah, I guess we did this a little bit too good. Let's sue ourselves because, you know, we were successful. That's not going to happen, right? And it just goes to show, man. Oh, Chris Metzen, no. I mean, it's kind of true, though. Man, I used to be so excited to hear any kind of, like, lore discussion with Chris Metzen. I don't know if you guys remember, but every time at BlizzCon, they would always have Chris Metzen come out and explain from a lore perspective what was about to happen in the next expansion. And it was so exciting. It was awesome to hear him like break it all down and stuff. This was like the brains of the operation. And now, unfortunately, that's just not the case whatsoever, man. It's kind of sad, but in any case, So you also have this kind of story here. So Chris Kaleki says that even Jason Schreier admitted in his latest book that the Cosby Suite was a fake nothing burger and that Kotaku was full of shit. So a lot of this also stems from, yes, I know you're about to be shocked when I say this, the gaming media. Yeah, I know. Wow, the gaming media had a big influence on people believing this to be true. I know, shocker. Gee, it's almost as if they had their own internal plans and the reason why they wanted to push this story. But anyway, so Kotaku ended up writing a story. Mr. Ethan Gack, I believe, was the one that wrote the story. He still to this day doubles down and he says, like, this is his reporting. He's going to double down on it. So whatever. But the damage was already done, and many great Blizzard devs had, in some cases, 20-plus year careers ruined since nobody wanted to hire supposedly problematic developers when apparently it was all fake. Heartbreaking and infuriating. So, again, even Jason Schreier admitted this, and he says, just to clarify, Kotaku was the one originally who had sloppy reporting on Blizzard and the Cosby Suite, not Jason Schreier. Jason actually did the story justice by interviewing those that were there and reporting the truth. His book, Play Nice, is actually quite good on Blizzard. You remember reading that in Schreier's book, and Jason actually confronts the journalist Ethan Gack, who reported on that story for Kotaku on whether he regretted it or if he would have done anything differently in retrospect. His response, I stand by my reporting. So he has to say that, though. You can't say you regret it. You can't say that it was a mistake. You can't say anything like that because then you open yourselves up to potential lawsuits, to potential any of that stuff. So he's going to double down and he's going to say, yep, well, I stand by my reporting. It is what it is. Right? Keep in mind, guys, there have been multiple people at Kotaku that have purposely misrepresented things, and they flat out have said that they don't care how you believe they should represent things. They don't care. They're going to represent it the way they want to represent it, whatever that way may be. They've said this many, many times over. So realistically, to expect anything different from them, I don't really know why people even expect any of that, to be honest with you. We already know what they're going to do, right? And not only that, Jason Schreier, even though he himself in his book may have went after Ethan Gack even slightly, at the end of the day, this guy actively promotes these people and he actively sides with them on multiple different occasions that we all know he should not be siding with them on. But because he hates the Chuds so much, he'd rather side with them knowing that it's probably going to end up in bullshit versus just admitting that, hey, maybe the Chuds were right this time. Maybe the Chuds were right, you know? I believe it was Jason Schreier that was like, go to the top of the charts for Dragon Age the Veilguard. How's that working out? How is that working out, buddy? Many Blizzard developers in the book cite that specific article as career-ending and led to professional repercussions. The examples in the book are Dave Kozak and Paul Cesares. So these people literally lost their job because of those articles. They lost their jobs because of that article. They cite that article, that specific one, as the reason why it was career-ending. And now we come to find out that it was all pretty much bullshit. It's crazy, man. It's honestly, it really is sad at the end of the day. And these are the ones, by the way, these are the ones who will tell you that you should feel bad for developers being fired. That you should feel bad that developers are losing their job, and that if you're making fun of developers losing their job, then you're heartless. These are those people. But meanwhile, they're responsible for developers losing their job by pushing out bullshit and lies, and they're just going to be like, well, I stand by my reporting. It is what it is. It's amazing how the gamers usually always get proven right, whether it's a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line. It doesn't matter. People smell bullshit so easily these days. We can spot bullshit so easily these days. And they desperately want to make us seem as if we shouldn't recognize this stuff. Or we should not be, like, this should not be in our faces. Even though they put it in our faces all the time. So I think it's kind of amazing how if you look back in the history of gaming media, Kotaku's at the centerfold for a lot of controversy, a lot of problem causing, a lot of shit stirring. If you look back in history, this is why they were made they were made fun of with that very classic meme. Do you guys remember the 404 journalist integrity not found at Kotaku error, the meme that was there at the convention? It was there for a reason. Because people even back then knew that Kotaku was on average full of shit. And as time goes on, it only gets worse. When these people are not held to any standard that results in their, actions being taken against them or anything like that, it only gets worse. So in any case, and the sad thing is that Kotaku continues to get bought out not because they're good, Kotaku gets bought out because they're worth the information that they have control over is worth money. The amount of emails that they have, the amount of, think about all the people that have signed up for Kotaku over the decades, right? Think about how much that's worth to these companies that are buying out these companies just for the information that they have, the email blasts that are capable with them. Like they're being bought out for the data that they have, not because they're any good as a website. Their history is keeping them alive, ironically, and their history is also what makes them essentially made fun of all the time. So I wanted to share this story because I thought it was pretty crazy. I'm also not shocked by it in the slightest. And realistically, just another example of modern day gaming media refusing to admit when they've done something wrong. And this is just another example of that. So anyway, let's continue. Resume TTS. What do you guys got to say? Let's see.
Dragon
Speedy
Age
cake.
1 equals Mona Lisa. Dragon
Yep.
Age Veil Guard equals that FMS modern art painting of 3 white lines on blank canvas. So if by safe sequels you mean we get something like the Mona Lisa smoking with pit vipers, I'd be happy.
That's exactly what they mean. That's exactly what they mean. They don't want you to have the chud video
Advice
game,
Admiral Deku of Mars
But thank you for the 20. I appreciate that, brother.
5372 celebrates 7 months
Let's
of
go.
membership.
Wait, so the entire Blizzard thing was a lie? What in the Jedi mind trick were the journalists on?
The Jedi mind trick that the journalist was on was that they had certain people that they wanted to be in the industry in positions of power, because if those people are in positions of power, they benefit from that person, right? So the more people that they can get snuck into the industry, the better it is for them. So yeah, of course they're going to advocate for that stuff. Of course they are, because why wouldn't they? By advocating for that, they themselves benefit to some extent, whether it's ideologically based or not. But I appreciate it. Thank you, Vice Admiral Deku of Mars. Absolute legend, brother. Thank you, sir.
Kasumi Cry Wolfers / liars should go to prison.
I agree. Mr. Melancholy,
So
thank you for the
Grums
2. Never
didn't
happens,
drink
though.
the booby milk? No way.
Seems like it, no.
I
Seems
want to
like
go
he didn't.
to HR Hypno.
Whoa. Wait.
How do you vindicate Bobby Kotick lol?
Wait. Chat. What the fuck is this profile picture and name, brother? What is this profile picture and name? What is Askatsuki Atreus, and why is he like taking a dump, bro? Or is he twerking? Like, what the fuck what is going on? What is this? Bro. He's ready? Ready for what? Has Atreus seen this yet? Oh my god, dude, that's crazy. Has Atreus seen this? Maybe he's practicing horse stance? What? You think we're all safer not knowing? You know what? You're right. We're going to move on from that. Moondoggy, for the 2, you want to go to HR? Maybe next time, brother. Maybe next time. We'll send you over. Thank you for the 2, though. Little Jim's Halo. How do you vindicate Bobby Kotick? I don't know, man. I don't know. But to be fair, though. To be fair. Who did... This is amazing, actually, when you think about this. Who did Bobby Kotick sue? Who did he sue? Who did he sue? Think about it. Bobby Kotick sued Kotaku. Yeah. Yep. Bobby Kotick sued Kotaku. Isn't that ironic? It almost makes you wonder why. I mean, we do know why. It was defamation, all that stuff. But Bobby Kotick sued Kotaku. Ironically. He also sued Gizmodo. But he sued Kotaku, too. So, think about that, Bobby Kotick from Activision sues Kotaku. Blizzard gets lied about by, Kotaku and other people. And almost as if there's a little bit of a proxy war going on over there, But anyway, let's continue. Let's resume the queue.
Can I go to HR, please?
Why are people wanting to go to HR? What are we
And
doing?
this is why the people who lies say they care about women of the women's reputation of themselves. Did they get any type of power they wish to have?
Well, that's the thing. Like, when you push and push and push, what eventually happens is that power that you gain, people eventually get to the point where they kind of start hating you for it, because they can clearly see what you're trying to do. You're trying to take advantage of people's empathy. You're trying to weaponize it, and you keep going and going and going until you get to the point where now people have gone from tolerant to they can't stand you, right? At first, people try to tolerate you. It's kind of similar to what happened to the LGBTQ movement, where it started with just wanting to get married, and next thing you know, they're trying to fucking, cut off the body parts of children. So, yeah, that extremity definitely, that's what happens when people start off being tolerant, and then before you know it, they're not tolerant anymore, you know? And that's nobody's fault except for the people that keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, knowing exactly what they're doing. But they think they can push nonstop and that nobody's going to fight back over it after a while, you know? Every time you give someone an inch, they're going to go for another one. Before you know it, they're trying to take a mile from you. It's what they do. Adair, thank you for the 5. I appreciate that, brother. Let's check Rumble really quick. Rumble, what do we got, man? What are you doing? What are we doing over on Rumble? We got Anti-Federalist playing with a 5. My backlog is full. Yo. He says, Indie is doing great. Let the industry burn. 5 guys in a garage. You had 5 guys in a garage? Five guys in a garage is what built the industry, and we are getting back to that. We will still feast while they starve. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Well, like I said, I always say all the time, we need nerds back in gaming. We need the nerdiest of the nerds back in gaming. I want to see developers talking in ways that I can't even fucking understand, because this guy is talking in all kinds of computations that make no goddamn sense to me whatsoever. But the good thing is that it makes sense to him, so that it works. You know, I don't want to be hearing about these fucking people's sexuality or none of that shit. I don't care about that, man. Talk to me in language that I don't get. I would much prefer that. Talk to me in some interesting developer language. That'd be great. All right, let's pause TTS, guys. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. We're gonna get to the next topic. I'm just gonna check gifted games real quick. I don't think I have the notifications turned off, so I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, it says one new gift, I think. One new gift. Hold on, here we go. If Dave the Diver was a horror game. Wait, what? Dave the Diver, a horror game? Oh, shit. Enjoy. Angmar WK. He gifted Dive or Die, Children of the Rain. Why does that sound sick? Dave the Diver, but a horror game? Every descent is a deadly gamble. Dive or die in the cursed abyss. Face eldritch horrors to uncover the mystery of the Black Rain. Scavenge and upgrade. Recruit and sacrifice. Save your camp. The flood is coming. That actually sounds insane. That sounds really good. Holy shit. Shout out to Angmar WK. I appreciate that. Dive or Die, Children of the Rain is what the game is called. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, man. What a legend. Thank you so much, sir. You are a legend.
Hashtag Elfet Valentine. Her math is right digital.
Apathetic Hearts with the 10 for Elfit Valentine again, man. Who's winning? Who's winning, by the way? I think it's Elfit, ironically. Pretty sure it's Elfit. Thank you for the 10. I appreciate that. Shout out to Apathetic Hearts. All right, boys, let's get to the next topic. Pausing TTS, let's go. So let me X this out. Yeah, that Asmongold story, that shit pissed me off, bro. I read that and I'm like, you know what? I'm not surprised in the slightest. Literally not surprised in the slightest. And I don't think anybody else is either. All right. Guys, we're going to talk about Halo Campaign Evolved. Yes, we're going to talk about this video game because, well, things just are not looking good, as they never are, right? So there's a couple of things that I want to touch on regarding Halo Campaign Evolved. Number one is who this game was made for, in my opinion. And it's in my opinion that Halo Campaign Evolved, after playing the game with the real-life fake wizard, which we still have to finish it up the game next week. After playing the game, it's pretty evident that this game was designed for people that just never played Halo before. These Halo remakes or these remakes in general are usually designed for people that never played the original games before, which is why they ultimately do not succeed in the manner that they should most of the time, 9 out of 10 times. Of course, there's always an outlier. For example, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That video game's doing well because for the most part, it is pretty close to what the original Black Flag gives you, but it does have some censorship issues and whatnot that it deals with. But overall, the experience is pretty similar. But with Halo Campaign Evolved, that's not the case whatsoever. On top of the game being absolutely freaking broken, and on top of these new missions that they added that everybody knows about Lieutenant Williams and how insufferable she is. So we have a lot of information regarding as to why this game was so bad at release, and it was apparently because of a very troubled development cycle. So we're going to talk about that because this game that was meant for PlayStation users, not only did it go through development hell, which is crazy because most of the game was outsourced to people outside of Halo Studios, so they didn't even handle it themselves. But not only that, if we are to believe the numbers that came out from Circana, which I almost never do, they're almost always misrepresented, but so take this with a massive grain of salt. But if we are to believe these numbers, then Halo Campaign Evolved massively failed on PlayStation, right? And on Xbox, it had about 8% of the active Xbox players jumping in on launch day, but it only had about less than 1% of active PlayStation players jumping in on launch day. So this game that was meant for the PlayStation platform, in my opinion, ultimately ended up failing massively on the PlayStation platform. This was also after they were trying to convince us that the game was super successful on the PlayStation platform because in one day, it managed to hit the top sales and revenue or something like that. But again, I keep telling people, top sales and revenue when nothing else is out right now, when if you look at anything else that's available, it's usually video games that already had all their pre-orders in for the week. They constantly do this. They're comparing to of the week that it's released, and there's almost nothing else that's out at that time that's going to be able to compete with a semi-full price video game. So, of course, Campaign Evolved was going to be number one on revenue for at least one day before it eventually dropped massively. The same thing happens with the Steam charts. I don't want to make it seem like it's just PlayStation. The Steam charts do the same exact thing. That's why I don't look at the Steam charts when it comes to, top sellers or anything like that. I don't look at that because it goes based off revenue. I don't care about that. I care about the actual numbers and how many people are playing the game, how many copies are being sold. That's more important to me. So anyway, let's go over the development hell, and then we're going to go over the PlayStation numbers and see exactly what's going on here. So Idle Sloth posted the following over on X. Halo Campaign Evolved's troubled development. Had a heavy reliance on external partners that went poorly. Now, number one, why is it that Halo Studios, okay, the studio that's literally named after the video game that they're supposedly developing, that is developing a remake of a video game that was made prior, so they already had homework, right? They had homework that they could copy. It's not like you guys were making your own game. You made your own 3 missions, which are the worst missions in the whole game, by the way. You made your own 3 missions that are extremely buggy. You made those 3 missions, and I can already tell that you would not have been able to make the whole game. I can already tell. You guys were absolute trash on those 3 missions. But with that being said, you guys are literally named Halo Studios, and you're outsourcing most of your work to Virtuos, right? Virtuos is a studio that does a lot of remake work, okay? They have remade plenty of video games before. They worked on Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake, right? That's the one that got shadow dropped. That did very well over on Steam. But at the end of the day, like, they've been known to have buggy work as well. You guys are outsourcing your work on a video game remake for something that you're copying someone else's homework, and it's a video game that you should be the primary people working on it. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you guys are Halo Studios. Why are you named Halo Studios if you can't even work on a Halo game? Abstraction Studio handled major technical work and level design for all missions, from concept block out through encounter scripting, NPC spawning, and adapting new levels for features like Sprint. Speaking of which, it's amazing that they say that they adapted levels to essentially work with the new features like Sprint. But if you guys didn't see those videos going viral over our Next, I don't have it saved, but I'm sure you can find it. There was a bunch of videos of people literally just running through the levels. Because of Sprint, they could just run through the levels, not fight anything, and go to essentially where they had to go to and speed run the level. So did you really work the level to account for Sprint, or did you just I don't really believe that, right? But anyway, development with Abstraction began around summer of 2023. Halo Studios allegedly ended the contract mid-development around fall of 2025. Much of Abstraction's work had to be redone, which helps explain persistent AI and gameplay issues. Abstraction is absent from the main credits. Only individuals appear in a special thanks. The studio has been acquired by Virtuos in early 2025, but later returned to independence. An external partner responsible for cinematics also underdelivered and barely finished in time, leading to the decision to cut real-time cinematics, which is why player armor and weapon customization doesn't appear in them. I mean, guys, oh my god, bro, what are we doing? So is this the reason why in the Warthog there's not even an animation to go from one seat to the other like there was in the original Halo? The original Halo from like the early 2000s, and you guys are in 2026 and you literally cannot animate Master Chief going from one chair to the other? Are we struggling that bad? How are we struggling this bad? You guys are Halo Studios. How are you struggling this bad? And then on top of that, the cutscenes look like they're, I can't explain it. I know Leon, calls it like realistic Pixar, and I feel like that's kind of true, but it's almost like they're plastic. I'm looking at toys. I feel like I'm looking at toys instead of looking at, actual characters in their world or whatever. That's how it feels. That's how it looks. But anyway, internal studio issues under studio head Pierre hints, importing and rebuilding assets from the Hybrid Blam and Unreal Engine proved far more difficult and time-consuming than leadership expected. Oh, so you guys completely just undersold how long this was actually going to take? I'm not exactly surprised by that. I guess by the time you got through your 14 levels of management, by the time you figured it out, it was already too late, right? Essentially, 100% of the assets had to be rebuilt, so you couldn't even reuse anything. Amazing. Hints reportedly promoted friends to key leadership roles. Oh, favoritism. That's a classic. That's a classic. We love that stuff. Favoritism. He reportedly promoted friends into key leadership roles, including the original executive producer and head of production, who were not prepared for the positions. This contributed to unclear direction, shifting priorities, micromanagement, and tension. So, you guys, again, as much as we love to make fun of some of the developers, because at the end of the day, we all know that they're not innocent, there is some major leadership problems that are plaguing some of these studios, some more than others. Halo Studios, it is in my belief that this studio needs a reset. It is unbelievable to me that you're a studio named after Halo and you couldn't even make the game. You had to outsource the game, a lot of the assets, to other people, and then by the time you got those assets back, you had to remake them because they weren't up to par or whatever the case may be. So you spent all this time outsourcing for literally no reason whatsoever at this point. And then on top of that, promoting people, supposedly, this is all rumored by the way, but promoting people that don't deserve it. I mean, am I shocked by that? No. I'm not shocked whatsoever. Those leaders were later demoted and replaced. I'm not shocked. And the head of production was eventually fired. The multiplayer project Ecker was canceled, so its team could be redirected to save campaign evolved. So they had a multiplayer project, which, again, one of the biggest questions was like, how are we playing campaign evolved and there's no multiplayer? Right? Multiplayer is such a major aspect of Halo as a franchise, especially some of the earlier iterations. And you guys have a 5-hour campaign that's been completely remade in Unreal Engine, but with no multiplayer whatsoever. I mean, at this point, you guys got to pack it up. I don't see how you can view this as saving the campaign, because I feel like the campaign was anything but saved, personally. But whatever. Anyway, in the last 9 months, the team worked under severe crunch, late nights, weekends, constant firefighting, and pivots, and managed to deliver a playable, respectable experience. Yeah, okay. A playable, respectable. Yeah, I like how they had to put this in. Yeah, sure. There's nothing guys, literally in the first mission, me and Wizard are playing, and it gets bugged in 10 minutes. I'm not even kidding. It gets bugged in the first 10 minutes of the game twice on their new missions. Not only that, it gets bugged in every mission after that. How exactly is this game respectable? I have no idea. There's no way you're going to be convinced me of that. Realistically, this all comes down to, it's all your fault. I know that people are going to want to point fingers and be like, oh, it's the dev's fault. Oh, the executive's fault. Oh, it's the gamer's fault for wanting too much or whatever. Like, it is all of your faults. You guys over there at Halo Studios, this has to be one of the most pathetic experiences that I've ever witnessed from a studio whose namesake is literally the game that they're making, and the game that they're making is not even a new fucking game to make in the first place. It is a remake. It is a remake of one of the shortest, easiest, simplest campaign mission video games to adapt. There's nothing crazy in it. There's nothing extreme in it. It is pretty straight fucking forward. So how is it that you fucked that up? How is it that you're incapable of making this game majority on your own? I understand that a lot of studios outsource. I get that. I understand that Xbox and PlayStation and all these guys have contracts with these outsourcing studios to help them when they need it. I get that. But it doesn't seem like it wasn't help. It just wasn't help, right? It doesn't seem like it was help. It seems like they were doing the job for you. And you were just putting together the pieces. That's how it seems. And the job that they did and the job that you guys did is terrible. Which is why I keep saying, ultimately at the end of the day, Asha Sharma, after this game has released, you need to walk into Halo Studios right now. You got to walk into Halo Studios like you did Bethesda. And you need to sit down, whoever's in charge over there, and all those 14 layers of management, and you need to felt them 14 times until there's nobody left, and then figure out how you're going to pick up the pieces. Now, going over what Pirate Nation said, Halo Campaign Evolved had a much bigger launch on Xbox than on PS5 in the US, according to Circana analyst Matt Piscatella. Now, keep in mind, Mr. Matt Piscatella, his numbers are always heavily skewed. For some odd reason, I don't know why he likes to do this, so take this information with a grain of salt. However, I do find it interesting because when I personally verified and looked at the stores, I almost never saw Halo anywhere near the top except for the official launch day, which I pretty much expected because like every major release gets that. And then eventually the truth comes out at some point in time. It didn't do well on Steam, and according to Matt Piscatella, it only had about 1% of the active PlayStation players playing the game, whatever the hell that means, whereas 8% of active Xbox players were jumping in on launch day. So there were more people playing the game on Xbox than they were playing on PlayStation. You could take that for whatever that means, but realistically, the reason why this is important is because, in my opinion, this game was made for PlayStation gamers. In my opinion, this game was made for people that never experienced Halo before. They even said that themselves. This is really for the modded audience of the new people who never saw Halo for what it was back in the day. And that is mostly PlayStation players. If you're a hardcore PlayStation player, you probably never played Halo unless you went over a friend's house or unless you had a multi-system family household. But not everybody was like that. If you're a PlayStation-only kind of player, you never played Halo realistically up until this point, or maybe you dabbled on PC. But at the end of the day, this game, in my opinion, was made for PlayStation players. You could see it through and through. You could see it in the way the gameplay is designed. You can see it in the way the cutscenes are made. Everything screams PlayStation in and out. Like all of it screams PlayStation. And honestly, to see it fail on the platform that it was designed for initially, I just think that's hilarious. I do. So Halo Campaign Evolved, I mean, again, not doing that well ultimately at the end of the day. It definitely could have been a hell of a lot better, but unfortunately, they decided to make some decisions that were questionable, and it's going to lead to the game being overall just relatively forgotten and ignored. I kind of feel like it's already there at this point. People aren't even talking about this. Outside of like a couple of nitpicking things here and there, nobody's really talking about Halo Campaign Evolved, which is crazy because I remember a time when Halo was anything anybody ever talked about. But now they ran it into the ground so much that nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's a joke. Nobody cares. And especially with the new missions that they added. The crazy thing is, you're not forced to play the new missions first. But realistically, anybody who buys this game is going to play the new missions first. Because it makes sense, right? It takes place 1 year before the events of Halo. So why would you not play the new missions first? Imagine starting off these brand new players that never experienced your games before with Lieutenant Williams. Imagine that being your first impression. It's crazy. It's almost as at this point, this game would be better off if they try to encourage players to ignore the bonus missions until after they're done with the main campaign. Because those new missions being the first impression that people get, bro, you're going to end up with way more refunds. Nearly guaranteed. Although Lieutenant Williams doesn't show up until right around the 2-hour mark, which I'm not surprised. Maybe a little bit before if you're fast, maybe a little bit before. But that's basically it, boys. So that's it for Halo Campaign Evolved. It's not looking too good. And again, these numbers from Circana, take it with a grain of salt. But you can apply it with the Steam numbers and kind of get a rough idea to say this is pretty close to probably what the story is. And it's just overall terrible to witness. And God, I hate that game. I hate that game, especially since I played Master Chief Collection not that long before that, and it was infinitely better. Infinitely better. Just go play Master Chief Collection. It's cheaper. You get way more video games in the actual collection, and it plays fantastically with little to no bugs whatsoever. Just go play that. That's a much better choice. Sam Fisher says you hit the nail on the head. The new missions take place to write their own version about how Halo starts. Exactly. That's really what it is. It's about making somebody else the key to everything. So instead of Master Chief gaining Cortana, right, at the time that he did, now it's like, well, actually, all of that happened successfully because of this random chick called Lieutenant Williams who sacrificed herself. She sacrificed herself, and that's the reason why. She's the reason why all this happened. She's amazing. She's amazing. It's fucking gay, bro. So gay. Especially after the ending of Halo Reach. Halo Reach had such a great ending, bro. Noble 6, the way that he went down fighting when they started to jump him and he was just fighting, and you see it from like the view of his helmet and how he just goes down fighting, and then eventually it transitions over to the future where they thank Noble Team 6 for essentially being the reason why everything went the way that it did. But then now you're just throwing in Lieutenant Williams out of nowhere like she's supposed to mean something. You know? It's so fucking gay, bro. It really is. Zark41 says, but Halo Reach is the one that started everything. Oh, I know. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to explain. It kind of downplays the sacrifice that was made in Halo Reach, you know? But it is what it is. What are you going to do at that point? Anyway, all right, let's move on, guys. Let me resume TTS, see what you guys had to say real quick. Don't forget, we have a battle going on. Carolyn, I saw you in here. Shout out to Carolyn. Welcome in.
At Zeroist 199 celebrates 26 months of membership.
Let's go.
Yesterday, I explained to my GF that Anida Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn are responsible for the Iran war.
What?
She was amazed, but didn't contest. Lol.
That's
Halo
crazy.
Studios equals
Zeroist, thank you for 26
cash
months.
out before you crash out.
True, 100%.
Seat
Dantron,
switching
thank you for the
didn't happen
$4.99.
till Halo 5.
Bro, Little Jim's Halo, thank you for the
many
2. I
cooks
appreciate
and
it.
didn't even finish the dish.
2?
It's
Wait, what?
ridiculous that the people who remastered
Thank you for the
Halo
2.
1 a decade ago could fuck this up so badly.
It is bad.
6
It is pretty bad.
Spartan die and 1 Marine Corps. Which ones make more sense? The sacrifice at the beginning of the campaign.
Sad, isn't it? Sad. Speedy Cake, it's ridiculous that people who remastered Halo 1 a decade ago could fuck this up this badly. Yeah, I mean, again, I played the Anniversary Edition, and the Anniversary Edition I think is really good, personally. Really, really good. So, shout out to Sebi for the raid. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sebi. Shout out to Sebi for the raid. Look at how many people coming in from Sebi's stream. It's amazing. The Patrick Bicardi's here. What's going on, man? Welcome in. Welcome in. Adair Soto, 6 Spartans die and 1 Marine Corps. Which one makes more sense? The sacrifice at the beginning of the campaign. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think it's a detriment to Halo Reach's story overall, personally. But we all know they don't give a fuck, so it doesn't matter. Dantron became a member on his own. Let's fucking go, Dantron. Thank you, bro. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Shout out to Dantron. Shout out to you, bro. We got King Jones, who said, hold on. It's not letting me bring it up. Combat Devolved. I like how people are calling it Combat Devolved. That's actually funny. Combat Devolved is just another universe, not part of the original timeline. At this point, everything's got to be treated like a multiverse. You know, parallel universes that nobody wants to be part of. Campaign Devolved, bro. That's funny. But it's true, man. It's true. At this point, it just goes to show that we are actually literally devolving in terms of developer skill and what they're capable of. We are devolving, and it's sad because it shouldn't be like this. How is it that with better technology, we are devolving? And I know that people can apply that to real life too, whereas technology gets better, people get more and more stupid, which I don't disagree. I don't disagree for the most part. But we are honestly, like, from a development standpoint, we are clearly devolving, where I guess what it was is that over the years, people used graphics as a means to show progression, not so much gameplay or systems. especially when it came to like big blockbuster video games. So they use graphics as a means to show progression, but now they can't do that anymore. Now they can't do that anymore, right? Because graphics have pretty much peaked for the most part. Like graphics, yeah, there's still little things here and there you could really like make a game stand out, but you cannot utilize graphics as a selling point of progression anymore. So now the people who have no creativity are like, fuck, how are we gonna stand out? Oh, I know. Let's put in a character like Taj and talk
Multiverse?
about non-binary.
More like horrible fanfic and Karen writers.
True. Camchi, thank you for the 189. Graphics peaked with Arkham. Yeah, dude. Yo, Sanguine, are you referencing that video? I have a video that I saw on X. I didn't save it though. I didn't save it where they were like, this is like a 2015 game, by the way. And the graphics were just absolutely insane. It's just people are talking how they cannot even reach the graphics. Look at this. Look at this is like, bro, Arkham Knight. Look at this.
You seem quieter than usual tonight.
Every year I come here, I want
this game's crazy.
The last time, I should put the past behind me. Try to lead a normal life.
Bro, this game is crazy, man. How is it that this is like 2015?
Kasumi, all my picks keep losing. W tonight.
Great A for a 2. Let's go. Voted for Kasumi. I appreciate that. Thank you, brother. Like this game is 2015, bro. We are absolutely going back in time. And this was before, I think this was before the time of like any kind of like reliable upscaling or fake frame generation or anything like that. Like this was, it's wild, bro. Like from 2010 to 2016, 17, around there.
Wouldn't it have made
video
more
games
sense
are
for
crazy.
PS players to exp Halo? They should have ported the Master Chief Collection. Not that woke bullshit.
Well, Hyperactive, thanks for the 499. Second off, the reason why is because they're trying to adhere to what they believe the PlayStation market enjoys, which is super realistic, pretty graphics, you know, damn near like walking sim type, you know, graphics and stuff like that with fairly simplistic gameplay. Halo's a fairly simplistic game for the most part, unless you're playing on Legendary, but even then it's like you're just trying to be smart with the levels. That's basically it. But it would have been the perfect game to introduce to the PlayStation player base with super pretty graphics, but they couldn't even land that. It didn't even land, you know? Need for Speed Payback had good graphics and plays easy on low hard and hardware. I know. And also, there's one thing that nobody talks about. There's one thing nobody talks about that I want to touch on real quick. I sent this to hold on. I sent this to the guys. Let me bring this up really quick. Let me show you what I had sent them. So I sent this to the guys earlier, talking about Marvel Rivals. Hold on, because you know they only talk about Marvel Rivals. Where is it at? Jesus Christ. I sent too much stuff. Okay, here we go. So check this out. So people need to talk about this more, right? And we talk about this. We talk about this a lot, actually. Or at least I try to anyway, you know. But one thing we don't talk about is how video games these days, not only do they look worse, they play worse.
What happened to us? Do you remember the Halo 3 midnight launch? We didn't know we had it so good.
Honestly, Dantrin, I don't know, man. That's a multifaceted question. Like I don't think it's necessarily any one person's or one group's fault. I think it's a culmination of things that I could spend an entire stream talking about that. I think I did one time too. But thank you for the 499. Yeah, I remember a lot of midnight launches. So I sent this to the guys because I'm like, people don't talk about this enough, right? This is not a topic of conversation enough. And it's sad because it needs to be. This has to be a topic of conversation more. Where it's bad enough that the games we're getting, they run like shit, bug to hell, graphically look good, but have a ton of glitches in them regardless. The gameplay are subpar. The story writing, don't even get me started on that. Right? But all of that combined, we're also not even talking about the fact of they don't even spend the time to optimize the fucking game. You know how people always try to say throughout, a lot of shills always say, well, you can't even fit modern video games on modern discs anymore. Yeah, why exactly is that the case? Is it because the games are too large? By choice or by laziness? It is always laziness. It's always laziness. This is now the second public example that we've gotten of a video game being released and having its file size drastically reduced once somebody else got their hands on it and optimized the game for them. Because what they're doing is they're outsourcing their optimization. For example, remember with Helldivers? Helldivers 2, that video game dropped by like 90 some odd % file size once it was optimized by an outside company. They came in, they optimized the game. There was no loss in quality for the game whatsoever. And the file size dropped to like 25 gigs from like 130 or some shit like that. 25 gigs. I think you can easily fit 25 gigs on a disc, but you can't fit 130. You know what I'm saying? Same thing here with Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals, the free-to-play game, by the way, so it doesn't have a disc, but free-to-play game file size reduction just recently happened. The PC just got reduced by 40 gigs. 40 gigs. The PS5 and Xbox got reduced by 15 gigs. So again, I think that this is something that unfortunately gets lost in the conversation, because everybody's always jumping on other things that, yeah, like it's not that it's not important. It's just that this is super important, because this is what's holding back a lot of video games too. Because if somebody was actually good at
looking at Halo 1 and 2 and 3 Specialty 3, they make the game clean and perfect the cutscenes as well the characters, but the remake they look like plastic rubber faces. If you look at Halo 3 opening scene, completely different.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, they look like realistic Pixar. They look like plastic. The cutscenes in the Halo remake, I can't explain it. I don't have a word for it. All I know is when I see it, I recognize it, and it's like my mind wants to tell me I'm looking at a Fortnite cutscene, but then when I see the realism in the faces, it's a weird, uncanny valley kind of, I don't know, man. I don't know, but you know what I'm talking about. It's weird. But Adair, thank you for the 20, brother. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Thank you, sir. I agree this has to be talked about more. Yeah, I'm telling you, people don't talk about this enough, and I think that it's something that has to be mentioned quite often, because we've seen some really egregious video games come out, like Call of Duty, for example. Call of Duty is, like, last I checked, some of the Call of Duties were like 130, 140 gigs, something ridiculous like that. Like
Rubber Terminator faces.
Oh, maybe they are Terminators. That's a good point, Hyperactive. maybe they are Terminators. Who knows? Thank you for the 199. I appreciate that. Yeah, realistically, this needs to be talked about more, because all this talk about games don't fit on modern discs anymore. They absolutely can. You're just choosing not to. We're not going to sit here and pretend like every single one of you fucking people making video games out there, we're not going to pretend like you guys are all making Crimson Desert style video games, because you're not, right? Crimson Desert's world is massive. Massive. And even that game, like, how big is that game, Crimson Desert? I forgot. How big is Crimson Desert now? I don't even know. I don't remember. But I know it's like over 100 gigs. But it's not. I think it's around the same as Call of Duty. Pretty sure. But you can easily get most of these video games under the 100 gig requirement. You can easily do it. You're just choosing not to. And actually, I don't even want to give you the benefit of the doubt and say you're choosing not to. I'm just going to flat out say you don't know how to. And I think that's worse. That's even worse, in my opinion. You don't know how to. Straight up. It's not that you're choosing not to. You know? Sanguine says, I think Crimson Desert significantly reduced since release. That's true. I'm sure it's true, because I remember them putting it in the patch notes. I don't know how much, though, to be honest with you. Tinfoil Hater says, gamers are to blame as well. We buy broken, unfinished, optimized junk, so they're like, we don't have to do any of that. Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said before, I think it's a multifaceted thing. And I think there's blame to go all around for sure. Where it got to the point where developers... So I think developers did the first strike. Where with the introduction of the internet, they saw an opportunity to launch now, fix later. And unfortunately, gamers at the time did not nip that shit in the butt, right? We did not stop it at the time. So that it eventually spread. And once internet got faster, that ideology got lazier. With the rising speed of internet, when we went from dial-up to broadband to all that stuff to now eventually, obviously, you got Fios and all that stuff. The introduction of faster and faster internet has led to the more lazier and lazier design. At least that's how I view it.
It's like building a plane while it's in flight. The game is not done and they plan on patching it as most gamers just accept it.
Right, and then again, so to use your analogy, Dan Tran, thank you for the 5. Imagine if you're building a plane while it's in flight. What's going to happen most likely? Depending on how little the plane was built while it's in the air, by the time you finish it, you would have already crashed and burned, which is what's happening to a lot of video games. The ones that are releasing half-finished, half-assed, they think they can finish it in the air, but they don't realize by the time they're done, they already crashed and burned and it's over. You know? So that's what it is. You know? But yeah, I do think that unfortunately we should have put a stop to it way earlier way earlier. Back with the introduction of online gaming, once they started getting lazy with that shit, it should have been unacceptable at that moment. But unfortunately, I think the way that it snuck in was that the level of unacceptable that it was back then was minuscule to what they're doing now. Right? Like, imagine Fallout 76 compared to some of the first online video games that had problems. It was few and far between some of the problems that you had, so people naturally were like, all right, it's not that big of a deal. But then the problem is that it's not that big of a deal.
When Wi-Fi 3
becomes
came to
a big
an end,
deal.
Wi-Fi 4 beginning faster for the internet, and we didn't see how this is going to turn out to be broken now, fix later.
Yep. Exactly. It becomes a point where it's like, it's hard to predict the future. You don't really see where everything's going. You can't guess where everything's going to go. And unfortunately, this is a situation where it's like you look back on it now and you're like, damn, I wish wish we said something, wish we had. And to be fair, we really didn't have the voices that we have now. You know, we didn't have the voices that we have now. And I think that's another thing they didn't account for. These studios, these developers, they didn't account for regular, everyday people having voices that would be bigger than some mainstream news outlets. So they don't really know how to tackle that or deal with that either. So I think that's something that we have going for us as well. T-Chap says we're 99.24 away from tier 2. 99, what a weird number. Thank you, brother. Right now, we are at Outfit at $27.99 versus Kasumi at $45. Let's fucking go. Shout out to Kasumi. I didn't realize she pulled ahead. Well, there you go. Makes sense. All right. We were slow to gatekeep. Yeah, I know. But we take the L's and we move on. All right, guys. Let me pause TTS over on YouTube. Let's go over on Rumble. Rumble's got some stuff they want to say. Democulus with a 10 is voting for Kasumi. Says some people don't realize that Kasumi is the better fighter of the two. Yeah, for some reason, I just don't believe that they're looking at their fighting skills, bro. I don't believe they're. I mean, I'm with you on that, but I don't think they're looking at their fighting skills. You know. Thank you for the 10. Deadeye's Lock with a 3 for Outfit. My backlog is never full and never folds. Why is Rumble talking about their backlog so much? Is there something they want to tell me? I don't know what's going on here, boys. I don't know what's going on. It's getting a little weird over there. You know. Did you miss the Beast of Reincarnation story? No, it's just that we were having a conversation. It kind of took over real quick. So we could talk about Beast of Reincarnation. I'm not going to go too in depth with it because I only played it one time, right? I got to play it some more. We're going to be playing some more tonight. This fucking guy, bro. Hold on. Bro, Anti-Federal's Pain just dropped a $100 Red Boy Hyperbanger over on Rumble and said, get your ears on. Jesus.
We have ourselves a Red Boy Hyperbanger!
Jesus Christ, bro. What the fuck? Hey, I saw somebody on YouTube say that he wants to see my backlog. Bro, come on. What are we doing?
All right, boys, we have another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's bring the ladies in.
Let's go. Shout out to Anti-Federalist Pain dropping $100 Red Boy and not voting for a single waifu. That's crazy, bro. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, helping us to get tier 2 again. Thank you, sir. Let's continue real quick because we gotta get to the Beast of Reincarnation stream, boys. We're gonna be running out of time here. All right, first things first. Let's talk about the game. So, real quick, Beast of Reincarnation. All right. Beast of Reincarnation, the game came out, and obviously this is the video game from Game Freak, right? This is like the people who are behind Pokemon, okay? And I got thoughts. I got thoughts, man. I got thoughts. At least their initial thoughts. Now I'm gonna preface by saying this, okay? I don't want to give full thoughts on this because I only got about an hour and a half with it. Not even. I had to end the stream early yesterday. I only got about an hour and change with it. And my initial thoughts with it are very similar, ironically, to my initial thoughts of Stellar Blade before I got to play more of it. And as I got to play more of it and understand the controls a little bit more, I realized that it wasn't as bad as my initial thoughts were, right? Like, if you guys remember with Stellar Blade, I had problems with the parry system initially, where I felt like it was a little bit lagged. It didn't really have like that satisfying feel to it. But then as I played a little more, I realized, okay, well, I just got to change up the way that I play a little bit. Anyway, so, like, this is not my final thoughts on Beast of Reincarnation, okay, whatsoever. But there are definitely some questions that I have with this game. First and foremost, some of the positives about this game. All right, first things first, the game, from a visual perspective, looks very interesting. It also looks very Game Freak. I can't explain it. Even though it's not a Pokemon game, there are still little tidbits of like how you can see that it was made by the same people, where the characters, the way they're designed, and the overall world, the way it is designed, it feels very Game Freak, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I just think that I was expecting a little bit more. I had the graphics turned out to maximum. This is not my gameplay, by the way. I'm just showing you something I found on X to talk over it. But the graphics are really not that great. Like, they're good. They're definitely serviceable. Like, I don't really care too much about that. I care more about the gameplay aspect of it, which I feel like is more problematic. But in terms of the graphics, I don't know. I thought there was gonna be more based off the trailers, but there really isn't that much. It's just kind of like there, right? There were some very cool aspects. Like, I love the wolf. The wolf is so cool, right? The wolf has typical Game Freak elements where you utilize the wolf to essentially take advantage of enemy weaknesses. So depending on if they're weak to like fire or burst attacks or whatever, you can utilize the wolf to try to take advantage of those weaknesses, and that way you can do certain things with it after you stun the enemy or throw them up in the air, whatever the case may be. It's really cool. It's like, overall, like, the wolf, I think the wolf is really cool. But the worst thing about this game, and I'm just gonna say it right off the beginning, I don't think it's gonna get better. If it gets better, I'll definitely say whether or not it does. I don't see how it's gonna get better. Okay, the camera in this game is fucking trash, brother. We're talking absolute Omega levels. We're talking Omega levels trash. Okay, like the camera for this game is trash. All right, I don't know what. Maybe they're too zoomed in. I don't know what the case is, but this shit is like Ninja Gaiden level trash. Unfortunately, without the gameplay to make up for it. That's the problem. Hopefully they fix it because it's just really, really, really bad. That's one thing that I noticed like right off the bat. Another thing too that's really bad about the game is the movement is very stiff. I don't know if it's because they were trying to add physics to the movement. So I don't know if it was something where they were trying to add weight to the way that she moves or something along those lines. But you know how in Stellar Blade, one thing I criticized was the fact that the movement was so stiff that sometimes you would do things you didn't mean to do. Like if you're trying to jump up on a wall, for example, it just doesn't look smooth. It looks very, very stiff. And unfortunately, it's the same thing here. And I'm not surprised because this game is literally the Japanese Stellar Blade. It is literally trying to be Stellar Blade all the way down to the menu music, the music that gets played when you're at a campsite resting. It's Japanese Stellar Blade through and through, which is funny because these are the same people that'll sue you if you copy their games a little bit too close. But anyway, now the enemies look pretty cool. I do like the fact that they have multiple weaknesses you can take advantage of. The super enemies, like what you're seeing here, I forgot what they're called. I think Malefax is what they're called. They're pretty cool. But overall, from the game that I experienced, and I experienced, like I said, a little over an hour, from the game that I experienced, I just feel like there's a lot of glaring design choice issues that are in this game that will lead it to not be an overall fantastic experience. Not that it's going to be a bad experience. I just have a feeling this is going to be an above average one. You know, that's where I think this is ultimately going to end. Also, too, the characters are, I mean, again, I haven't experienced them too much, so I got to wait on that. Characters seem a little bland overall. The voice acting for the English, don't even bother. It is atrocious. I'm pretty sure they used AI for it. Just use Japanese. Don't use English. Otherwise, you'll be sad. What else? The skill system and the stat system was pretty cool. Right? Eve was pretty bland. Yes, but Eve didn't talk like she was bland. Like I know you may think that's the case, but you need to listen to this chick talk and you'll realize what bland really is. The skill system was really cool from what I saw. I do like the skill system. You get 3 different trees for each character, the girl and the wolf as well, and it focuses on either healing, tank, or DPS, and you can kind of mix and match between the two, which is cool. Obviously, you have an attribute system that works. Like, all of it's serviceable. It's serviceable, but it's one of those things where it's like, you look at this game and you realize that a Game Freak was out of their element. That's what I think is happening here. Game Freak was totally out of their element, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I appreciate them trying to at least do something different, but you can see a lot of the problems that are prevalent in Pokemon games. You can see it in this game too. That's the issue, right? You can see like the issues that are plaguing Pokemon games, like some glitched textures and the way that the camera works and all that stuff. It's very prevalent in this game also. So that's why it's like, oh wow, so I guess Game Freak really is the problem, huh? You know? That's really the issue. I like the music. The music's good in the game for the most part. Again, I haven't experienced too much, but the music's good. Overall, I do want to play more, but with all that being said, the reason why we're talking about Beast of Reincarnation is because Beast of Reincarnation is currently getting shit on by the gaming media. If you guys remember, places like IGN and whatnot, if the game is considered average or worse than that, they always give it a 7. They always give it a 7. But with the Eastern video games, they always dock 1 point for being Eastern. I swear to God, you guys think people think I'm trolling about this. It's not a troll. It's actually legit for the most part. So whatever the game was supposed to get, just dock 1 point for being Eastern. Right? So IGN, people are shitting on IGN because they gave it a 6 out of 10. right? And they also gave Crimson Desert a 6 out of 10. So, you know, is anybody shocked by that? No, not really. I'm not shocked by that. Now, the thing is, though, just because this is one of those, like, it's the messenger, not the message, right? I got to be honest with you, a 6 is not that far off from what this game would actually end up being in my mind if I were to end right now. But I'm also not retarded. I'm not going to end right now. Like a 6, well, let me say a 7 and a 6, because if I say it the other way around, people are going to troll me. A 7 to a 6 would be pretty much where this game would probably fall. But I think that the reasoning for which they're giving these games, the numbers that they're giving it, is not the same things that I'm talking about necessarily. You know, these people, they do not like Eastern video games. Pretty obvious. And, you know, keep in mind, they gave Mixtape a fucking 10. So there's that, right? But in any case, so I found the video that actually showcases IGN writers reacting to Eastern video games. I don't know if you guys have seen this video, but it's pretty legit. Check this out. This video, I saw this earlier. This is what it looks like when IGN writers react to Eastern video games. Check this out. All right, obviously I'm trolling, but ultimately, guys, listen, at this point, I wouldn't be like, I'm not trying to say that they're wrong on this. I think I don't on this game, I think they're not far off. I think this is probably going to be in the 7 range, most likely. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little disappointed. I'm hoping that the game gets better, and obviously I'll let you guys know as I continue to play the game. But I think at this point, considering what they're asking for the game, full price and everything, I don't think it's worth the full price that they're asking for. That's really what it is. Hypnotic, no, don't agree with the enemy. Well, see, the problem is, like, I don't play that shit. I don't play that, like, oh, man, because IGN's saying it, that means I got to go the opposite way. No, I'm not like that. I'm going to tell you what I really think the game is actively worth. And unfortunately for Game Freak and unfortunately for Beast of Reincarnation, that I was very excited for, by the way. I was super excited for this game. And I still am excited to play it some more. And again, I want to remind people, this is not my final thoughts on this. This is just my initial reactions to the game. It was a little bit disappointing. There was one thing that was really cool in this game that I want to talk about, and it was the fact that there is moments in the game where the Malefics take over the entire, I guess, like the map that you're in, and what happens is this forest ends up growing around you, which was so fucking sick. I can't even explain it. Like the forest will literally grow around you, and then like these Malefics will spawn, and then you have to kill a certain amount of Malefics in order to have the forest despawn, and then the forest will despawn around you. You'll see everything go into the ground little by little, which was pretty cool. So I kind of like that. I hope to see more of that. Yamato says, is it as bad as Lost on the Side? No, it's not as bad as Lost on the Side. Lost on the Side was really disappointing. I think I gave that game like a 5 or something. I don't even remember. Like, it was really, really disappointing, unfortunately. But no, it's not as bad as Lost on the Side. It definitely just feels like a Japanese Stellar Blade, which again usually wouldn't have been a bad thing if it was done properly. But that's all I'm saying. But again, there are some things in this game that I think people are gonna like. There are some things in the game that I like. I'll tell you one thing though. I think it's insane that I literally saw a creek of water. It's not deep water whatsoever. It is literally just a fucking creek of water, and I drowned. Where, like, it's so weird, bro. Like, how are you gonna have a little creek of water where you can literally jump from one side of the land to the other, not walk through the water? It's that shallow, and I touch the water and I die? Coffeeaholic says no way. No, I swear to God. I swear, you don't believe me? Oh my God, you're gonna make me bring it up? All right, I'm bringing it up. I'm gonna call me a liar. Shit, hold on. Let me bring it up. I'm not kidding. Hold on. Look, bro, it blew my mind, dude. It's insane. I was like, there's no way that that's actually happening, but it did. It did actually happen. Here, I'll show you. It's here we go. So let's bring this up here. And let's see if we can find it. So okay, here. Let's go to the gameplay. like I said, like the graphics aren't bad. They're just not that great. Like they're not what I thought it was gonna be, personally. Where is it at? Let me see. Water. Where did I drown? I drowned somewhere over here, I believe. It happened so fast. It's hard to say. Hold on. Oh, is it this? Let's see. Let's see. Oh no, I was smart and I jumped over it that time. I think it happened later down the line. I died to this. Yep. I got felted. Came back. And then, oh, there you go. Watch. Boom. Bro. What? That shit was... Wait, go back. Go back, bro. Hold on. Brother. Look at this. That shit blew my mind. Hold on, go back. It's a fucking creek of water, bro. Why am I drowning? Look at this. There's clearly rocks under there. I can see the rocks under there. Why am I drowning? You know? Like, what are we... Bro, I see the rocks under there. You see what I'm saying? So, all I'm saying is that there are clearly things... Again, I'm just looking at everything in the game. And there are some... The creeks can be dangerous, bro. Yeah, I guess. That's one deep creek. I know. I mean, she literally fell through the world. But no, there are some things that I'm looking at. I'm like, all right, that's kind of stupid. You know what I'm saying? So I try to look at everything when I play the game. And this is one of those things where I'm like, you know what? I was kind of dumb. So there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that going throughout the game. A lot of choices that were made that I'm just like, I don't really see why you would do that, but okay. But let me see if I can show you the forest growing, which was pretty sick. So if you look here, no, go back. Go back right there. Is this it? Let me see.
You must parry them.
Pairing is oh no, this is when they teach about pairing. Hold on, nope. So it's right maybe here. Oh, fuck. Yeah, if you listen, the forest is growing around. Yeah, you hear that? The forest is growing around. Little by little. It's coming, it's getting closer and closer on the left side. Look, the trees in the background are growing. It's so sick when it happens. What the fuck is happening? Yo, what is happening, bro? The forest is growing around her. What the fuck? I'm not gonna lie, that was really cool. That was a really cool moment. So that kind of saved the initial impressions of the game right there. So that's the thing. It's like there are certain things that are really cool in the game. There are certain things that are not so much, which is why I think this game is ironically going to land at around a 7. Is that supposed to happen? Yeah, it's supposed to happen. So that's why I think that's where the game's ultimately going to land. But I want to play the game more before I, give my final thoughts on it. But anyway, case in point, unfortunately, a little bit let down of the game, but I'm still curious about it. We're going to be playing some more tonight. So if you're curious about it, come hang out with us tonight at Hypnotic Gaming Live. We're gonna check out more. I was supposed to do co-op with Leon, but he's okay with me choosing to play Beast of Reincarnation so that you guys get to see it again for another stream sooner rather than later. Game of the Year's mixtape, yes, clearly. All right, boys, listen, we are super late today. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to skip the PlayStation story. I had like a super fast bullshit PlayStation story that I just wanted to make fun of them for, but you know what? I'm going to skip it for today because fuck them. And we're going to get into the waifu battle, and then we're going to finish up and go play Beast of Reincarnation. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make that stream live right now. Let me make the Beast of Reincarnation stream live so that you guys can go to it if you're not going to hang out for the waifu battle. Let's put it, hold on, where is it at? Let's make that live. Guys, go check out that stream if you want to watch us play Beast of Reincarnation. Hopefully I could play for a little bit longer today. Here you go. I just published it, made it Made it public, and here is the link. The camera's janky as fuck sometimes. It really is. That's probably the worst thing about the game so far is the camera. The camera is really bad. If they can fix the camera or figure out a way to like make it so it's not so janky, that would be a really big improvement. But we'll see. All right, guys, that's it. That's the link to the gaming stream. I would greatly appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. But with all that being said, we got to pick a winner. We got to pick a winner versus Kasumi and Elfit Valentine. And Kasumi is currently losing. Elfit's at $52.99 and Kasumi's at $50. It is literally a $3 difference, boys. It's a $3 difference. So with all that being said, let's make it happen, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into the waifu battle, have some fun, and then move over to the gaming stream. Let's go! All right, boys. This is it. Two rounds between Kasumi and Elfit. I saw Kasumi get some big votes during the song. Let's figure out who's going to win. I'm resuming the TTS, and we're going to make it happen, ladies and gentlemen. We'll figure it out from here. Here we go.
FTW.
Here we go.
Elephant Valentine.
Here we go. All these Elfit votes.
Kasumi, hopefully one day we will all get to see Hypno absolutely destroy that big, fat backlog of his.
Hey, yo! Relax!
Kasumi.
Relax. Beautiful Zexel with the 20 for Elfit Valentine. I appreciate that. Beautiful Zexel with a 5 for Elfit Valentine again. I appreciate that. As Katsuki Atreus with a 5 for Kasumi. Thank you, sir. And then our cuz dropped a 20 for Kasumi. Damn. Just countering the Elfit votes. This is great. You love to see it. You love to see it. Shout out to our cuz. Thank you for the 20 banger. Kiteman with a 499 for Kasumi. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Over on Rumble, we got Democulus with a 5 for Kasumi. Right now, Kasumi is in the lead, boys. She's in the lead. We'll see how this goes. Real GR says this brother husband wants Fearin. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Maybe one day you'll get it. We'll see. Right now, Kasumi is in the lead, but it is very close. It's closer than I thought it was going to be. Alucard says those are some big votes. Oh yeah, they're big votes, all right. They're real big votes. Let's go.
Kasumi.
Bio
For the
T
game
Wolf.
with the original jig.
Let's go, Bio T Wolf. Shout out to Bio T Wolf. I appreciate the 5 by man. Thank you so much. Absolute fucking legend. All right, boys, listen. That's the first one. The first round's over. And now it's time for the second round. Who is going to win? Let's figure it out. So far, Kasumi is decently in the lead. But I feel like the Guilty Gear fans out there are not going to let this one go. I don't know. Maybe I got too much faith in them. Who knows? We'll see. Let's see. You never know. GDR says one day it should have been today. It can't be today. Sonia says Kasumi for sure. Really? Is that how it is? I guess so. Maybe DOA fans have it easy. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, technically Kasumi did win in the poll. She did get 71% versus Outfit at 29%. So that's pretty drastic. But for some reason, the Super Chat votes are not that drastic. It's interesting. I guess it kind of works out that way. Gaming Wolf says Kasumi. Remember, whoever wins this one is going up against Morgan in the next round, boys. Here we go. All right, boys, that's it for the second round. It is now time for the final countdown. The last one on my screen is the one that counts. And whoever wins this, looking like it's going to be Kasumi, is going to move on to face Morgan in the next round. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Waiting for lag, waiting for lag, waiting for lag, waiting. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody came to save the day for Outfit Valentine. That is kind of sad because she was starting off pretty strong. But that is basically it, boys. T-Jab counted up. In the meantime, Sonia says no need for waiting. Well, you never know. I mean, Rumble lags a lot, so I try to make Rumble not lag as much, but unfortunately, I can only do so much. In the meantime, guys, remember a couple of things. Number one, while T-Jab's counting it up, we're going to be raiding over to play Beast of Reincarnation in a little bit. We should be live over there in about 40 some odd minutes, give or take. So if you want to see some more Beast of Reincarnation, come hang out. Tomorrow, we should get back on...
At BioTwolf 1956 celebrates 28 months of membership.
I know you don't cover it much, but I have been seeing a lot of indie games going for the KH type of gameplay. Mohahaha.
I know which game you're talking about because the developer was like, Sora inspired his main character or something like that. It was Sora and it was another character that did it. So I think I know what you're talking about, but yeah, I'm not surprised by it. Well, but thank you for the 28 months. I appreciate that, brother. All right, here we go. The numbers are in, and we got Outfit at $52.99 against Kasumi at $84.99, which means the winner and moving on to the next round officially is going to be none other than the one and the only Kasumi. Ladies and gentlemen, damn. I can't say I'm shocked. Kasumi versus Borrigan. How is that going to go? Let's do it one more time, ladies and gentlemen. One more time. Coping and seething.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
And that is it for the waifu battle. Ladies and gentlemen, Kasumi's going and moving on to the next round where she's going to face off against Morgan, which should be pretty interesting. Tomorrow, we got Marie Rose versus Ivy, and the day after that, we got Sea Viper versus Katana. That should be interesting. Viper versus Katana, I would love to see that one. So we got quite the lineup happening over the next couple of days, boys. But in the meantime, thank you so much, everybody, for the insane support today. I appreciate it. I hope every single one of you had a fun time on today's stream, as always. And thank you guys so much for doing what you do every single day. Shout out to the Hypno Mods for doing what they do every single day. Appreciate you guys as well. If you want to go watch Beast of Reincarnation, we're going to go raid ourselves on Hypnotic Gaming Live right now. So go join over that stream if you want to go hang out there. If not, please make sure to check out the videos every day, 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And give it a like, and give it a comment, give it a long view duration, give it all that stuff. I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, you already know, go be bigots and go be gooners. Bye.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men. And I got news for you. That means you gay.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Her dog, or her cat, was named Vagina. Vagina.
Put a ticket in, make her gay. Fuck it, yeah, John. Put a ticket in, make her gay. Fuck it, yeah, put a ticket in, make her gay. It means put a chicken in it, we eat, and make her fucking gay.
Fucking pronouns! Fucking pronouns!
of the black man. I bring light. I bring light. I bring life. I bring life. I bring life. That's right!
Why the hell are you still here? Go on. Get out of here. Go play some video games.